Hello. Let me see if this is even working yet. I think it is. Hi, I'm Brenda Jean Power Medicine Woman, and I am from Medicine Woman Solution. And there is a solution for every problem, and that's what we're looking for. What for what? What problems do we have? A lot of it has to do with changing our levels of consciousness and growing to evolve. Some of you are like, well, I'm doing just fine. Hey, well, those that are awake will begin to ask questions and wonder in what direction, what is the purpose? Why am I here? These are great questions to start with. And it's also important to begin to wake up from certain paradigms, believing that emotions have nothing to do with our state of health, our way of life, our personality. I've had too many experiences to say, you know, emotions have nothing to do with it. Emotions have everything to do with it. Candace Pert happened to find these molecules and how they operate. We have Dr. Dispenza talking about the things that he's discovered when he studied all about the brain. And there's tons of other people. So around 6 a.m. Australia time, I woke up and I was downloading. I mean, normally when I download, I don't remember, but this time I was downloading. And I've noticed that about 3 more times prior to that all of a sudden I'll kind of wake up and I will start to remember. And then it was and then you get up and you forget. And then now I'm remembering that when I get up at 6 a.m., a part of me is like, I think I'm going to write this down. It had to do with me a little bit more. Plus, I think I had a mandala effect occur. So I have to do more research, but I can't do it during the show. So I'll have to wait. And one of the things is that we say hello to Amy this morning. How's that? Hello, Amy. How are you? Get her mic.
I'm good.
You're good. Now, before we go any further, Spirit wanted me to ask her because she has been waking up, growing, moving forward, and she already thought she was, and then all of a sudden she found me. And she's like, oh, who's this woman? All right, I'm going to listen. And it grabbed her to the point was I need to keep continuously listen. And what was it? You had a reading?
I won. That was when you did 3 readings a show, and it was like a 5-minute, a 7-minute, and 11-minute.
Oh, that's right.
And I won, I think maybe one of the 11 minutes first, and I was shocked, to say the least. That I mean, it was like you could read me like a book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, damn, this woman really knows her shit.
So everything resonated with you.
Everything resonated with me. I'm like, oh my God. So I kept watching, and I started watching your YouTube channel, your YouTube show, your shows from YouTube, and I couldn't get enough of the information.
Excellent. Excellent. So you became hungry for it. And that's what you usually do when your soul is ready to hear a certain frequency of language. And so here you are. I remember we got talking. I needed a volunteer, guinea pig, or what do you want to call it? And you said, ooh, I'll be that. And I said, okay, that requires you have to not be camera shy and you got to be authentic. And she's like, yeah, I can do that. Sure. I don't think you really expected where we were going to go with this.
Nope, I had no clue.
Okay, so do you regret it?
Absolutely not.
Okay, now when we say yes and no at the same time, there's like, oh my God, yeah, I know, yeah, no.
So no, I don't. I know. Not at all.
But you were shocked because when you would tap into very personal issues that you even forgot of.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you started to resolve some of those things that would make you tear up in your heart, and you're like, do you do those anymore? Can you look when I know I put you on the spot, but if you were to really start thinking back on some of them.
No, I don't, because tomorrow marks the anniversary of my mom's death 7 years ago. And normally I would start being a basket case today. I've been good.
You've been good. And you've been on depression medicine for, when did you start?
I think I was even in high school.
Okay. And then
like 30 years.
30 years. I'm saying because you look really young. We have no idea if that was yesterday, but so we're trying to figure it out. Okay. So about 30 years. And did you ever think that and you even upped them at some point, the depression?
When I had both parents in the hospital at the same time.
Oh.
I
dying at about the same time. Is that I mean, it was that death defying. It wasn't they were just in the hospital. There was a lot of dire around it.
My dad had broken his back. He was
back or neck.
No, he had broke his back.
Back. That was the back one.
Yeah, that was the back one. That was in 2012. He broke his back.
Wow.
I think. Anyway, that doesn't matter. And then my mom was having breathing issues, and my dad had just come back from the big metropolitan hospital back to our local hospital to a swing bed. And then my mom started having breathing issues, and they put her in the hospital, and they were across the hall from each other. It was kind of funny. But I just couldn't handle it. I could not handle having them both in the hospital at the same time, because it was like, oh my God, they're both going to die.
That's all your thoughts were going. It's just that.
I was at the end of my timeline.
Okay, so what came of it? Did they die at that point, or
no? Dad was in the hospital approximately 2 weeks, and he regained his ability to walk. And wow. Yeah, and he went back to work. He was a barber for 50 plus years. Yes, they were both in the hair business, Brenda.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not around. If I come looking butch one day, you'll know.
And then my mom, she ended up coming home on oxygen. And that was March of 13. And then I had panic attack after panic attack, and the doctor put me up to the highest dose of Effexor that I could be on.
And then you've been on that for how long?
7 years.
And then, did you ever imagine you'd come off them?
No, I guess I didn't see a reason why.
So when we brought up the subject, mean spirit, about, hey, do you really need to be on them? What was your thoughts?
Oh, gee, maybe not. I don't know.
Because spirit was like, she acts like she's not even on them. Her brain's not acting as if she's on them. And I'm like, and she's telling us she's on them. I know, I don't feel the same thing. Normally I can feel a certain way a certain person is with their medications. And when you went to your doctor and got authorization, and what did he tell you? Or they, or whoever it was?
I did get to see the one that had prescribed them had retired years ago.
Okay.
And then I saw my nurse practitioner, and she said, I don't see why you can't start going down. Well, I had started not taking, because there was a 120, 125 and a 75 or something like that. I took 250, and I stopped taking the 75. for the whole time you were in
Fiji?
when you were in Fiji. And then after that, after you got back after that 2 weeks, I went to the doctor and then switched and just took the 75 for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then was off of them. So I've been off of them since mid-February.
And have you had any bouts of what year?
Oh, no, of this year. Of this year.
2020. So, and then a lot of people, when they get off the medication, then it just starts right back up again. Now, how did you know what depression was? I mean, would you be happy? And then how did you know your depression would take you there? I mean, again, how would you know it?
I would be a bawling basket case.
So the emotions would affect.
Mm-hmm.
Then would you notice your thoughts, or would you even know you had thoughts about it?
No, I wouldn't notice my thoughts at all. I just knew that.
But then you would just become this big ball of mess.
Mm-hmm.
When you started learning about emotions, were you surprised, or you're like, yeah, I knew that?
No, I was very surprised.
And why?
Because I didn't realize that they rule your life as much as they do.
And then how about thoughts?
And thoughts are just as bad.
Good. And so when you learn that, oh, that must not have me. I thought it was me that was beeping. Okay. And when you learn that, no, that was me. Okay. When you really thought about the thoughts, I mean, you probably heard thoughts become things, or did you ever hear that before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So, but you never really, you thought, oh yeah. You may have questioned it, but did you realize the flippant thoughts affect you big time as well?
No, I didn't.
And how about everyday thoughts?
Until I started catching myself flippantly speaking, and I even I cancel everything now.
So when you talk flippant, do you realize you're not present in that moment? You kind of just make a comment. It sounds fun, but it's a program.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Cancel.
Yeah, because sometimes you're like, wait a minute, do I really want that to happen?
Exactly.
Or, that may have been funny once. And so you've learned a lot about words too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I even find myself canceling TV shows.
Yeah. Or I'll be going, oh, yeah, I used to think this way. And I would turn around and pause it. My husband's like, can we just watch a show without you? Getting into discernment and really seeing the mirrors, And I'm like, oh, I'm doing it again, aren't I? Okay. Because when I get caught up, it's like, I never thought that before. Oh, yeah, taking notes. It's supposed to be just a TV show.
Yeah.
No. Because they can brainwash you. They are influenced. They can show you where you're. Back in the 30s or 40s or whatever, 20s maybe, and a lot of it was that I'm going to turn you over my knee and spank you, woman. And every man felt like they had the right, even if they didn't own the woman, to spank them because they disagreed with the man. I'm like, ooh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is just funny to me. It's funny. But did you ever feel your physical symptoms with your depression?
No.
Okay, so you're learning to notice that part of what you are working through, your programs that you're working through, that could lead you to the dark night of the soul. Now, your programs are always there, but it's when you start to really, they own you, and you're waking up and realizing, I need to get out of them, because you're actually saying, I'm done to some degree with a particular program. This is what makes it a dark night, because you're like, I just can't get over it. You want it done. But at the same time, when you meet up with the actual reason why it's still serving you, it's like, oh crap, I guess I'm not done. But you're also going, can I just keep that part? And then we'll get rid of this. And it's like, no, they're hooked. And then you get to see how you have progressed into being this particular way. So now, as we look, you began to dig deep how you lived more externally than you did internally.
Mm-hmm.
Because internally, it was just you're crying and there's an emotional chaos. I don't know. Is there any happiness inside there? That's what we're trying to get you to, is your inner happiness.
Yeah. There was today.
Yay! Oh, she made me this. Well, it looks like a bracelet,
It looks
but
like a bracelet, but it is a necklace.
yes, and you know how I like yellow. And I need black so I can look like a bumblebee now.
Yeah. Well, you do have black in your wardrobe, I do believe.
I got tons of black. I've been trying to get away from black. That's why you see a lot of yellow, oranges. But I don't go out shopping, so I got to figure out how to miraculously make clothes appear.
Yeah, but this is yellow and black
Yeah, I like that.
and silver.
Yes.
It's silver toned.
I love silver.
Type.
I love silver. Thank you very much.
Well,
So, what's important to understand is I asked her this morning, I go, how's this depression? Why? 'Cause she's thinking I'm seeing something. It's like, no, it's evaluation time. It's important to go
like,
out and witness.
and I was on the phone with another friend, and I'm like,
Oh,
why is Brenda asking me this now? And then I thought, oh, the show.
but it's about evaluating. It's going back and measuring yourself against who you were, how far has it been. Have you progressed? Are you evolving? Because when you are beginning to wake up, part of it is that you have to evolve. And you're going to find a lot of people that have woke up, but they don't understand how to look at themselves and to understand that their personality creates their personal reality. They hate their personality. No, they don't. They don't look at that. They only like, oh, I don't like my reality. What the hell is this? Reality bites. Ah. Well, you're the maker of your personal reality. And it's about how you send your inner world, create your outer world. It's where you're living. It's how you're playing with the emotions. But you have a mental body, an emotional body, and your spiritual body, and you're meant to grow and you're meant to evolve. So when you wake up, you are going to have to decide to be done with some things and unlearn and relearn and all that good stuff. So, has it been fun waking up?
Yes and no.
Exactly. And if you didn't begin to use tools to wake up with, then the yes and no would always be, oh my God, I don't know. I'm focusing on the hell. Ah! But with
Yeah,
tools,
if I didn't have tools, I would. I don't know.
you wouldn't been able to really wake up because you
Mm-mm.
would really be waking up slower than a snail. I mean, a snail would have the gold medal by the time you got to where you need to be. Not to be mean, I'm not talking about just you, I'm talking about all.
Right.
Because without a tool, without knowing how you operate as an energy being, you have so much to you. And as the energy part of you starts to develop, and I'm getting distracted by a billion things all of a sudden. Sorry, I really am distracted. Do you have to believe your own stories? It's not where I was going. I was going somewhere else.
No, you don't.
Okay, so as you begin to wake up, if you don't use tools, then you can come up with people are paranoid. People are talking about me. People don't like me, and you're just going to show your programs. You are going to hardwire. You're going to fire and wire your thoughts without using a tool, and you're going to come up with some really interesting stories, but you will always see the same story. Why? Because you haven't addressed it. You don't know how to address it because you don't know what to address because you are so done being invalidated by life. And my feelings are important and real, and yes, they are. But you also have to understand you need to be protected from sometimes your own thoughts and your feelings as well, because they're coming from the ego aspect of pain and suffering. Okay, Amy, I'm gonna hide myself. You grab some cards. I want you to pick a couple cards, and I'll tell you when to wrap it up and not. Okay. Now I can't. Oh well. You're just going to stare at me because I can't take the spotlight off me. So anyway, Amy, please, that would be great while I take care of this.
Okay. This is the chakra deck by Tora Hartman. And let's see, the first one is isolation. Let's see. Sapphire Blue, occasionally he gets invited somewhere, but inevitably he turns the invitation down. After all, what would he wear? He bought a new tux once just in case, but won't wear it because he might spill something on it. Besides, going out would alter his routine. He's tired. He tried to meet new people, but hasn't met anyone of his caliber. So Sapphire stays home alone and remains quite blue. Inspiration. Do not wait for the right time to live your life. That is so true. You are on the verge of something big, but don't participate. But if you don't participate, it could pass you by. Keyword: self-protection, making excuses, over preparing, never feeling ready to take action. Celebration, experiences, and play. Keep going?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. What else do we have in this deck? I love this deck. And I love the little stories that go with it. Oh, perseverance. That is a sacral chakra card. Let's see, what do we need to persevere over? Let's see. The legend. Shannon's carrot-colored cloak is a gift from a famous stage actress, and she wears it always as a symbol of her own talent. One day, frustrated by the sacrifices she had made in her long pursuit of success, Shannon throws off the cloak and gives up her acting career. The great goddess tries to convince Shannon to put the cloak back on and stay the course, but she doesn't listen. Just around the corner, had she persevered, was great success. The inspiration. When we would do our chosen work, we are serving the highest order. If we stop, we upset the universal balance. What you work towards will materialize. You may not see it, but it lies ahead. Personal inquiry. Can I ignore the feeling that would sidetrack me? Will I let go of fear and persevere? Keywords: breaking through, unseen help at work, feeling taken for granted, overcoming doubts. And keywords: steadfast, success, and miracles. Let's see. Is it this one that I like? Yes, this is the my daily affirmation cards. And this is a beautiful deck. This one, okay, this is relationships. I tell the truth with grace and love, and my relationships are transformed. That is the cutest little puppy dog. I am patient with my needs and kind with my words and respectful with my soft places. The kitty cat and the gloves. And let's see. Okay, and this is another deck that I have at the ready. And I don't remember what it is. I think it's Daily Guidance. I believe. Relaxation. Allow yourself to be lazy. It's okay to do nothing. Dance. Step into the light. Share your gifts and talents with the world. I like that one.
Thank you, dear. I really appreciate you. What do we got left?
Oh, we got a whole deck if we really want.
Oh, well, no, that's fine. Thank you very much. Okay.
You're welcome.
So let's take a look at all those cards. What did the cards? The last one was dance. What was the other ones?
Relaxation.
Relaxation, dance.
Dance, relaxation. Let's see. I am patient with my needs.
Okay, so they're telling you to look at finding and balancing your rhythm, because sometimes we throw ourselves completely out of balance, and our inner world creates our outer world, and pain will be what is in charge. And when you do that, stress is what's in charge. Stress is really what's in charge. And your stress, if your governing meridian is down, you're going to feel paranoid. You're going to feel everybody's against you and be suspicious. If your front energy is down, you're going to be vulnerable and you're going to feel pain and you're going to be able to blame. And so then you fall into the effect side of the equation of cause and effect. So sometimes we just have to relax. And when I do tell people that have stress, you need to trip your autonomic nervous system. Oh, come on, I can't think. Okay, all you have to do is understand if you're stressing and you are feeling these things. You breathe in through your nose and then blow all the air out of your mouth. And then you take this diaphragm and then you suck it up and you hold your breath. So it's and you do that a few times and it sounds like you're gasping for air. That you did it right. And you do that a few times, and what happens is that the brain's autonomic nervous system will go from stress to rest and digest. And then the reason that you need to find music and the reason you have to have patience with yourself is that you're a wonderful soul and you need to learn to love yourself, and the music will help move your soul. And if you can allow yourself to get into music that gets that balance and that beat, then you're going to start balancing your frequencies. Okay, because we are frequencies, and when the frequency is off, we will have challenges in life, a great deal of challenge. And when you have a great deal of challenge, you will push yourself in the direction that causes you to feel nobody loves you, I can't go there, but then you heal. You start to do those things, you get yourself out of stress, you start to listen to those musics. And what will happen is that the frequency, and then all of a sudden it's like the challenges look like opportunities, or you may not even notice the challenge. Then you don't really have to be patient with yourself, because when you just become that little bit of patience and that sereneness, you're like, I do have this ability. You do not know what you're made of until you have to go there. And it's not that we have to endure hell. Sometimes we have to learn how to be proud of ourselves because we took the determination and we achieved something. It's like when I had to walk, I can't remember how many Ks, I had hurt my ankle. And it's like, oh my God, I was bitching and moaning. I just want to go home. And I just went, just thinking, what if somebody come along and help me? And Spirit says, what are you doing? I'm being in the ego mindset and bitching. Well, what are you going to do? I'm going to get into spiritual mindset and stop bitching. Okay, you're right. What do I got? What am I made of? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. And the next thing you know, the pain was still there, but the weird part was I didn't have to think about it. And then Spirit says, oh, okay. And because of my tools, after I walked a little bit more, and I'm like, I'm getting there. And my mind was on, what am I going to do when I get home? Well, I'm doing it. Wow. And if I'm like, so in this position, you understand it's about encouraging yourself, feeling like Wonder Woman that you can achieve. And then I stopped and I started doing source point healing. And the next thing you know, it's like, hey, The pain is almost gone. And my mind started downloading interesting things and listening to music. And I remembered I had my headphones in my pocket. And so I put those on and started listening to music. And before you knew it, I was home. And when I got home, I didn't have to rely on somebody just because it was easy. I didn't have to cry and whine because nobody was there for me. It was my mindset has switched to, you mean I can save myself? I can problem solve? I can encourage myself? I can empower myself? You mean I can go there? And when I had walked and I got home, I'm like, shit, I'm tough. I'm determined. I never thought of it before, but I've got it. And do I really need to go down all those other trails of thinking? Actually, no, I don't. I learned that. So, like I said, for me, it was very important that I grow into becoming more of who I am. Now, I'm going to check people in the room. Just remember, if you want a free reading, there's you send in email so that I can get it. And this is our last day to get a chance to put your name in for the drawing for this month.
Yes, ma'am.
And so there's a lot of names already that's there. And what we're going to do is, hold on, we got to get you in the right position. There, see, we got all these names. She's got them all crinkled up, and then she'll throw them in the hope chest behind her. And then we will draw them in our next, what do you call it? Monday or Sunday, whatever it is.
Sunday here, Monday there.
Yeah, so that's when we'll draw it. So this is your last time. And how do you get your name into the hope chest, Amy?
You pay for a 6-minute reading.
Right, and it can be, today is 23. Sorry, people.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Why? Because I expend more energy. There are days that I wish that, no, just kidding. Everything's all good. So we are going to grow, and together, you and I, you just have to decide if you want to come along this journey. You have to catch when your thoughts take you to the end of the timeline. And if you feel anything that less than love and you dwell upon it and you're like you're using synchronicity in the ego mindset. Do you know what I mean by that? Yes and no.
I wasn't paying any attention.
I figured that. Okay, so like for instance, I have a great ability to look at spirit. And back in my younger days, I would look around, and if I was an ego, I could take things and use synchronicity and pull it together, and I could interpret it as a bad meaning. And I could run with it, and then I could dwell upon it. But if you learn how to be your authentic self, you'll begin to know if a warning is different than when ego runs with it and saying, oh my God, my feelings are hurt. Now, there's nothing wrong with using that as oh my God, that's a fucking twang. Now, do you know what that means?
I do.
Okay. Are they your best friend?
Oh, God, no.
Okay. Well, then tell me, what's a twang?
A twang is when, one time it, because you are usually my asshole.
Bright and shiny.
You had, or Spirit actually had texted me something, or it was put in the Academy chat, I think. And it was to wake me up, but it hurt instead.
Ah.
You remember that?
You're talking about the one group, the messenger thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Come on. I'm here.
Yeah. And so, and that
how many licks does it take?
Yeah. 3 at least.
But you didn't know about the meme. So when I said it, you had no idea what that meant.
No.
Okay. So see, and in my mind, I thought you already had saw the meme. So I did not think about it when Spirit had made me say something so innocent on my behalf, but so detrimentally mean and distorting on your behalf.
Right.
Because it's filters. But anyway, go ahead.
And it was a twang, and it hurt, and I was in ego, and I texted her back, and I'm like, what the fuck, that really hurt.
Yeah, you bitch. She didn't say bitch, but she
know,
screamed out it. Like, I picked up my phone and was like, I hate you. And I'm like, what? She got a twang, all right. Twang and triggered and a blow up explosion. But anyway, keep going.
Yeah. And that threw me into a dark night of the soul. And when I am there, I get no Brenda privileges at all.
Not that I cut her off. We're out of sync. We can't. I'm at a certain level of consciousness.
I
She
can't.
goes and drops into a different level of consciousness. And it doesn't matter what I say in the light language I speak. She can only hear it through the filter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I won't, and she knows I will not want to sit there and spend hours. And it's not that I won't honor you. It's just that I don't need to be sucked into your reality when I know you could come out and all those excuses and the reasons and these pains. And I can feel you being swelled up. And I don't want to have to feed that.
Right.
Because you would only want to see me take and push you further down in the hole. And I'm like, one push with my asshole is enough. You know, fire in your direction once, but that's good enough. I'll walk away.
Yeah, and
so she couldn't see me or talk to me for a few days. That was.
Well, no, I got a reprieve because of the show.
Oh, that's right.
But before that, yeah, I had.
Again, I didn't cut her off, and I told you that, right? I said, you're not going to be able to hear me.
Yeah, and
I don't play that game.
And I knew that I wouldn't be able to hear you. And so it's like, okay, yeah.
And what's funny is I would rather risk her thinking that I disowned her than sit there and try to talk to her and make things worse.
Right.
And I thought, I've been here too many times. I'm just going to do my best to say, when you're done, we will continue. Mm-hmm. And then you had the reprieve of the show, and then I can't remember if we were able to talk about it then or not. But the point is a twang, is that it will be hurt. Mother, it depends on the degree, 1 to 10. And then if it really is an explosion that happens, it can be something that's so explosive. I'm sorry, I got to itch my leg. This can be so explosive that, oh my God. And if anybody understands what pain is, you'll start having physical symptoms too. Mm-hmm. So sometimes we got to stop believing what you tell yourselves. And do you remember what the topic was?
It was something to do with probably my 7-year-old self.
Yeah. So that's good that you said that, because that means Amy was not. How old are you?
I was 7.5 when my brother passed.
No, I mean now.
Now I'm 48.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't her 48-year-old self, because all I could see was this young little girl crying and throwing tantrum, and I'm like, oh, I can't put her in timeout, or can I? Maybe that's what Spirit did. I don't know, but I knew it wasn't her, and again, it's like I'm not willing to risk our relationship by having things just blow up to the point where, besides, if you communicate with me, it won't be like other relationships with that talk and fight, and because it's not like that.
It's not.
We're out of sync. You're important to me. Cool down. Do what you need to do. Get back to yourself. Then I'll communicate. Mm-hmm. My husband knows the same thing. So he, it's like baby got put in the corner intentionally. You did it yourself. Yeah. So it is important. But then when how do you help somebody that is really, I don't know if I like that dot. I don't know if that's me or if that's somebody else's. I don't like that dot. And so now I'm covering that dot up because all I can hear is somebody's thought. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what was I saying? Besides the dot? I don't remember. Oh, when a person feels like they are so disconnected from spirit and they are in their ego mindset and they're going to take offense and be in pain, you know, I can reach out with love all I want. You're not going to feel like it's love because it's not from me you want it from.
Right.
It's from that, your 2-year-old, the 4-year-old, 7-year-old self that wants that love from that mother, the parent or the siblings or whoever. And I've had people, look at my signature and say, "Oh, you're just like so and so," and I'm like, "Yes," and apparently you don't like them. It's good that you know this, but it's not me that you don't like. It is you have unfinished business, a continued story, and emotions that are trapped that need to be resolved out. So it is very important that you understand that those are what creates your personality. So when people are in pain, how can you help them? And that is, you don't want to be their minion. What do I mean by minion?
A yes man or woman, so to speak.
Mm, yeah.
Someone that will jump on your bandwagon.
I can understand and I can come to you and I say, "Oh yeah, I can see where she's a bitch and all that." But what's the difference between listening to validating your feelings and a minion? Go a little further.
I mean, they'll agree with you. They'll
And then
agree.
want to fight your battles too.
Yeah, they'll help you fight your battle that really isn't their battle to fight, but they think that it is because,
For whatever reason.
yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with standing up for and like my last name was Heft Power, and family power, And,
Melinda said ass slicker equals minion.
but yeah,
I love it.
yeah, and I've had several experiences, and I've had somebody that misunderstood because they used their ego mindset, and then they gathered minions to attack me so that their hands were clean, and I'm like, "Well, can you call your dogs off?" "Well, no, you deserve it." And I'm like, do I stand here and defend myself? Could you hear me? Is it a big deal? No, I just took my power back, let it go. None of these people were worth it, because if we're going to be out of sync, and if they're already out of sync, that means that they're never really probably were in line with me. It's not that anybody's better than anybody. It's just, I'm just going to let you go live your life and I'm going to go live mine. And then the person came back in my life, and apologized. And I said, "Yeah, but you still didn't call your dogs off." And she didn't say anything. But she says, I just wish that I could be more like you so that I didn't have to be in this type of person, this state of mind. And I says, "But you can evolve. You can become love. You can be more than that. You can rise above it." And she said, "I just wish there was more friends out there like you." And I says, "Well, you have to first become one before you can, really have one. Because if you don't, then you can't understand and respect them." And she says, "Well, I don't like being alone." I says, "But you already are." She says, "Well, not really. I'm kind of like the king of the group." And she's admitting this to me. And I'm like, wow, okay. Just know that I love you. I love your soul. But you need to go live the life the way you need to live. I'm going to live my life the way I know I want to and need to. And hopefully we'll bump into each other from time to time. Okay, but I'm not changing who I am just so we can be friends. And you are not going to change so we can be friends. So, and we had, was a certain amount of respect there. Okay, just remember, you do not have to be like everybody else on the planet. We had a beautiful woman here, CIN, what's her name?
Sinisha.
Tanisha. It was a beautiful woman that came on here, and she's and that was the first time I've really ever been propelled to go back as that person in that past life of theirs. And as I was doing it and I'm looking around, it was, she witnessed something and she got accused. And then she said, in this life, that's what she's doing. And I says, but your purpose is to not take sides. Your purpose is not always having to be at war or defend yourself. It is to step into that love and start spreading it so you can be like, you know, how the pandemic is. This is, so if you're smiling, let it be contagious. If you're having love coming off of you, letting that be contagious. And it'll help change the mindsets that people are so in. And we're ready for more love on the planet. And even if you think it's just within your house, you don't know who you talk to, because I could be talking to Amy, and that love that I've given Amy and Amy picked up, she could be talking to 2 other people, and that love spreads there. And energetically, I can't remember where the proof is, but it's like if somebody's praying negative, then actually love conquers more than just canceling that out. It actually spreads. So, you know, we need more people to wake up, and it's not about taking sides. We're learning to develop the third option. You really are.
And the third option, it can be very beautiful.
It is. It is. And if you allow yourself to think, I can't think about it, heal, I can't think, because that's like an emotion of anger. Okay, it's I can't think, or if I can't figure it out, you need to really heal that. Stephanie Marie says, is there a way to do a healing for someone else? Okay, so first of all, you need to explain, Stephanie, if you're still here. I can answer that in so many different ways. Do you want somebody else to be healed on the show? Do you want to do surrogate healing, distant healing, someone in front of you? You know, so answer that a little bit more. Yes, you like my beanie? Trying to find color combinations. You know, if I could give you the right size and tell you what I actually like, Diana, when you go to those op shops, we may have to do some bartering, because I need some yellow, some beautiful oranges, not mustard. I hate mustard. So different greens and some blues, and I need sweaters, and you know, I need some color besides black. I have nothing wrong with black, but vibration is like, you are meant to do more than just be one shade. It's like, and I never leave the house. And like I said, and Diana, I love you, but God, my schedule's been so busy. So anyways, I manifested a bread machine. Diana delivered it. So it's like, I look at it, I turned it on, I heard it go beep. I'm like, oh, and then I lost the manual 3 times because I've been so busy. And then it's like, all right. And then all of a sudden it appeared. So I picked it up and I'm reading it. And I have to research, what is bread flour? What is bread enhancer? But now I figured out how to make bread flour and bread enhancer. So now I just have to get a couple of the ingredients, and soon I'll be making some homemade bread. And once I get the pattern down, then it'll be every day or every other day, you know, plop them in. She was saying, just imagine. She had me really going and drooling. She goes, just imagine. You put all the ingredients in and you put the lid down and you wake up in the morning and go, oh, bread. I said, yeah, I'd be drooling my sleep. That's my problem. I'll probably eat and go in the kitchen. Are you done yet? And then go back to bed. I love bread. I love me some toast. But anyway, I just thought I would point that out.
Oh, it would cost too much to ship you one.
But I got a bread maker. I was like, oh my God, look at that thing. I'm so excited. Oh my God. And then we just kept doing air hugs. Because, you know, social distance and all. And then I'm sure just by me being crazy feeling, she could feel that. Yeah, sorry about that, people. There was an emergency and a soul was down, and well, the soul's not down, the person was down. But the point is I don't know if I made a difference. And you have to be okay with understanding is the best you can do is to show up, and Spirit said, it's okay. Amy's got this. And I can take 2 seconds to show this person love, and hopefully they can see love. And it'd be nice if they could. I hope so. Let's see, what else? Oh, your inner world. And it's very important that we continuously keep talking and teaching and moving on this. I'm excited about my adventure when I get off today. And the adventure is understanding what Spirit was downloading with me last night, because I will just say this much. When you're born and you got everything aligned, there's certain numbers that work for you and there's certain numbers that don't. Okay. And what's funny is that the way Spirit sometimes will speak, will have some complete stranger will come to me, say something, do something, and it dramatically changes my life. That's how I knew that my Alan was supposed to be my Alan. I only met this one guy once and never heard from him again. And out of the blue, he says, I don't know if you remember me. He says, and here's a message. And he was talking about down under. And he says, I think you're supposed to move there. And I'm like, what? And as soon as I actually read the frequencies of the light language he was speaking, it was like, what? And it was like, I can't remember, because I already know that he was my client and my student, which he was busy living his life. So I don't know if we were talking at that time or not talking at that time. I just knew that I think it was my past switch was coming in. Some things were just completely changing. But when that light language from what he said, because I don't care how you type it, if it's done through the frequency of light language, you will be amazed at what you see. So I knew it. I mean, it hit the I know it button, not an ego like I know that. It was the intrinsic part of me that said, oh my God, the bell just rang. Oh, the light code went off. It was like the yes and the permission. It was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, it's on. Woo! Okay, what am I supposed to do? So spirit can really move you in that fashion. And so when I was downloading at 6 a.m. this morning, it was, oh my gosh, the meridians. If you were to take your astrology and you take the numerologies and you take and understand how your soul contract actually comes together, my gallbladder meridian doesn't work properly on the right side. So it screws up my spine, it screws up my lungs, and it screws up some of my issues in my life. And I've been doing my best to overcome it and the number 4 was always the enemy. So I go to check today to look this up. The 4 is not even in my chart. So I had a mandala effect because it's like, where's that piece of paper I took a picture of? But then my external hard drive took a crap. So and it was like, it was on that. Ooh, well played. Because there's no way to prove the mandala except for in my memory. I know because I had been researching it and studying it. Now it's a 2 and a 9. So now I'm going to go find out what a 2 and a 9 needs to do. But this also is connected on the values level. I think there's 9 value levels. Not the same as chakras, but and when you're working through a values level, now understand when you create reality, oh my God, they're downloading right now, or I'm remembering. Oh, I know how I'm going to put my dissertation together. Oh my God. Okay, I got to say it out loud. So the idea is that what is reality? Okay, it's consciousness. Okay, excellent. Paper done. Okay, let's break it down. Okay, what is personal reality? Personal reality is your personality creates your personal reality. Okay, done. Can I change my reality? Yes. Da, 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 da. What also helps create the reality? Levels, your values. You help is like a container to help the consciousness to come through, just like the ego is the lens. So if I look at the values level to how my soul growth is, and when you're ready to move through a values level, you have to come to unconscious competence with that level. And then when you start to wake it up, you bring it consciousness, then you can become competent. So I'm moving up a level because, like I said, with the mandala effect, the 4 is now missing, not missing anymore. I have it back. So I must have healed something. Oh, yay me. I'm so excited. Okay, what else did you guys tell me to do? I wrote it down. I did? Oh, that's right, I did. Ha ha. Oh, now that would explain. People have been out of the blue sending me money just to say thank you. They said, please spend it on yourself. Now I can see how and why they had said, hey, why don't you get a numerology book? Because you said so. I'm like, I did? Oh, yeah, I did. Or, hey, go do this, get this. what I wrote down this morning makes perfect sense because of the things I want, like the values book from which I really want. And if you know who Tad James is and his wife Adriana, Adriana James wrote this wonderful values book, but I can't get my hands on it. And so now I actually see that it's like $50. And I'm like, I can't afford $50. Yes, I can. No, I can't. Yes, I can. And so I've been arguing with my convincer that says just spend it anyway. But do we have it in the budget? Says my left brain. But I really want that values book. And the other book is it's from astrology, but it's not normal astrology. It's the very first part of astrology, and it starts with a C. It's different. It's the very archaic. It's like the first original before Plagiarum theorem, before any of those changed it. And that's the frequency that I feel I'm comfortable with the most. Oh, I'm so excited. And then I got to figure out who. I gotta learn what houses and astrology. Oh man, that's something I've been avoiding. So, but I'm gonna have to learn to heal that. Okay, I think that's enough of talking about that. Let me just go check to see if anybody's paid. No, I think we're gonna jump right in, and I'm gonna go over here first. Oh, I made Gemma. She says you're giving me goosebumps and making me teary at the same time. Ooh, spirit. Oh wow. After watching your show Tuesday night, I went to bed and my head felt like someone was trying to get in. So I told them F off over and over. Did it work? Good. It just, it's important to just really understand that you own your space. Let's see. Oh, Gemma wanted to know if you can send it either way. If you're in Australia, it's Australian. If you're in the United States, it's Australian. But sometimes people pay U.S. It's just the conversion rate that I always get confused. But anyways, you can. I mean, I live in Australia. You can send it to Australia. I think it's cheaper if you lived in the United States and you send it Australian. No, wait. Amy, just jump in.
If you're in the US, just send USD. And the conversion, she only gets 11 US dollars. It looks like she gets more, but the conversion rate is awful.
Right, because I got a higher cost of living. So like my loaf of bread is $5, $3.49 or $3.90. If you want the good. Now, sometimes if you get the really crappy bread, you can get it for like $2.90. But I usually go to the clearance rack. Well, I don't know anymore, but I used to.
You can make your own bread now
and get $2. Now I can make my own bread. Yeah, and yeah. Oh, you have no idea how exciting that'll be.
So horrible that's why I put in the USD.
And I totally do appreciate that. It's so funny because your mindset. Oh, you should have seen me, people. Okay. How many years? Some 40 some years. I lived in the United States, bought things in the United States. I come over here. I go to the store with $50 thinking I'm going to get, a bag full of food to bring home. Hey, hibbity, hibbity, 2 items. I could not fathom that I couldn't really make a meal. I just left the store. I put the stuff back and I just walked out of the store. And then I come home and I can't get my brain wrapped around this. And Alan says, but that's normal. I says, I haven't caught up to the normal here in Australia yet. And so then went down for the second time. And this time I took a list. I took that list and I said, shit, budgeting's hard with this list. Okay, but I made it through and I decided I'm going to get a bag of rice. I went the poor man's route. I'm going to buy this. And then I need toilet paper. Are you freaking kidding me? I still don't have money for all. Oh, I'll just get the 4-pack. Because it also goes against my other part of me is like, please, I hate making a billion trips. Can I just do it in one shot? Now I can. And because it's like, I will go in the store and you're like, what are you doing? Stocking up? I do not like to shop. So if I can buy for 2 weeks, I'm going to buy for 2 weeks just so I don't come out here and feel everybody.
Exactly.
Just saying. Okay.
Gosh, I went. I think it was Friday.
Yeah.
Minnesota has opened to a degree, and I swear to God, everybody and their flipping dog was in Walmart and Menards and the grocery store. It's like, really? Go home, people.
Oh my God, when I went out. Okay, so it's funny. I think it was Vicky said had their you know how they put those generator memes. What will be the first thing that will Brenda do when she goes out of here, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so then it says I'm going to Mickey D's or Macker's, depending on where you are in the United States or Australia. And I'm like, I don't eat out. I went out. I had to go get a because I wanted to watch Netflix and the day my so I don't know. There's miscommunication between my Blu-ray and my TV or Netflix, and it's like, come on. So I bought one of those little Google Comcast so I could get Netflix to work. And guess where else I went? Now we call it Hunger Jacks, y'all call it Burger King, but I will because I can't really fathom that it's Hunger Jacks. I'm just gonna go to Happy Jacks. And I cannot get that. So I go, oh, and this is welcome to Hungry Jacks. I says, yeah, it's happy to be here because I have a tendency to want to say Happy Jacks. Don't know where that's come from, but because I want to say Burger King. Now I will talk to people. Oh, you mean Hungry Jacks? I said that. No. You said Burger King. I did not. Now I can't argue with that because that will happen to me. Yeah, I'm not telling that story. Okay. Yeah, I'm filtering. Okay. So anyways, I came home and it was like, oh my God. Burger, yeah, I know. Loaded with sugar and salt it doesn't need. And then I thought of that meme generator. I'm like, oh yeah, they know me in food. Now, if you ask my husband, one of the things that I almost put in my marriage vows is you got to take me out to eat at least once a week because I hate cooking. And my second husband, how he got through my stomach is that he made me pancakes, and I'm like, you did something for me, and I'm like, it's food. Now you got to remember, when I was little, I came from a background where we didn't have food, so my liver is like, I remember being starved, woman, so it wants to pack and keep things because it's afraid that it's not going to get food again, even though I know rationally in my mind that's not true. I will get food. So I see those patterns that run through me. And so, like, my husband goes, I know it'll make you happy. And then it's like, let's go out and have somebody else cook. Okay. I had to be the first at the door and in the car. Just saying.
Me too.
I'm not all about fast food as much as give me a good old, hot meal. My favorite restaurant, I'd go with Jen, Osika, was a Mexican restaurant. And there was two dudes in there. I just love them. And I keep getting an update every now and then, how they're doing and all this and that. And it's been over, 6 years about 7 years. And it's like, one of them got married, had a baby or a baby's on the way. So it's weird because how do you become friends with, but yeah, they loved us because we tipped well. And I love the Mexican food. They, I just love those guys. Los Tres Amigos,
Mm-hmm.
Then the other one was, I had my favorite. One of my favorites was TGIF's. Then it disappeared. I found it in Australia, just around the corner. And then there was another one. I can never remember it, where you can put you eat peanuts and you just shuck the peanut shells onto the floor.
Oh.
That was my favorite place. I'd always get salmon and sweet potato and, oh my God, Logan's.
Mm-hmm.
About Logan's. Oh my God, me and my friend would just, hey, we've had our standard there. Okay, why am I reminiscing?
I don't know why.
I have no idea, but we are going to call upon Shelley. Now, do you want it like this? Do you want to come onto the show? And I already know her question.
You can put me in the corner.
Baby's asking to put on timeout. Good boy. So I'll wait for Shells to tell me what she'd like.
Brenda,
Ooh.
Donna's watching. Hi, Mama.
Who?
Mama Donna.
Oh, hi. Oh, Shells, yay. Jelly. Now, Miss Shelley, would you like to, is it okay to put you on the big screen? Oh, we got to get the volume in. No, not this again, young lady. Yes, I think I heard you. Yes. Say hello. She can't hear me. I can hear, yes. You, I hear you. I hear you.
What again?
I know, we're going to do this again. Okay,
Oh
you play with that. You play with that, and I'll mute you. Well, she can't hear me. What am I thinking? So I'll mute her. She'll figure out her speakers. We had the same problem last time. And let's see if she can remember what she did. Because I don't know if she told me what she did. Anyway, we'll get there. I'll do some reading. Diana says she's already on it. Aha! Okay.
Google, all this negative energy really, really sucks.
Who
So
says
you
this?
can hear me,
James.
but I can't hear you. I have to get the headphones again.
Yay! Okay. So, Betty says I'm making homemade apple butter tomorrow. Oh, I can taste it already, Betty. Yeah, if I could. Hold on, I'm going to go to Betty's house. That's what we're going to do.
Hey, I can hear you.
Hey, okay, now we understand. Headphones for Shelly. Okay.
I don't know why though.
I don't know. Mine was all screwed up too. It's weird. Can I make you big? Would you be on the screen with me?
I don't care.
Awesome.
I've been on there before.
Yes.
It's just I've got earphones on this time.
Yes, that's okay. I got a hat on. Oh yeah, I'll be bopping. Okay, so all right. So what is your extensive level of energy work, and so I know where you are. Are you afraid of things? Are you
No. I've spoken to dead people before, had dead people come into me, but this was wrong. This felt like something trying to attack.
Okay. Now, was it because of the quick Q&A on the tribal?
I have no idea.
I mean, did you listen to that Q&A? No.
I listened to Tuesday night.
Oh, this show on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Because I'm looking for it. If it's tripping, if it's an old thought.
Oh.
I don't remember.
There was that one reading where you could not connect for nothing with that one lady that was a friend of yours from Michigan.
True. Was that it?
I can't remember.
Okay,
I don't even remember what Tuesday was about.
All right, so I'm gonna shut off the timer just for a minute so we can talk about this. Apparently, Spirit wants us to talk a little bit further. Which is the best way to say it? Through your mouth. Oh, who is the comedian over there? Okay.
Just say it as it is.
Okay. So the energy, a lot of people have this fear factor that because there's so much light going on that the dark's going to grab us. You need to flip that switch, because there is some beliefs that, because there's the crystalline kids and the chakra kids, I can't remember rainbow kids, that's what it's called, that they are more vulnerable. And the whole point is that we need to learn to become more mindful of that we're energy, and we need to balance ourselves, and we need to be more responsible. Please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. Okay, a lot of people don't realize that they do that. Responsibility means You choose the ability to respond the way you want to. It will control you. It will be infect space and the living things in it. So you're learning respect. But at the same token, you also need to use healing tools. Again, I am going to impress people use healing tools.
I do.
Because when your governing meridian's down, which I'm going to draw mine back up, is where you get paranoid but the vulnerability, we are learning how to heal those, balance those energetically because those light codes are coming on that we're becoming more sensitives, not sensitive, it is sensitives. And then they're empaths, and then the kinesthetics that you've already come in with is going to be beefed up. So the light switches are kicking on.
Well, see, I was told to turn mine off at 5.
You were told, well, because of your parents and things, society. Yes, most of the people do. That's probably why the light codes are coming back on. Okay, because it's time. The timing is now. I didn't get mine shut down. It was like, okay, this is where I'm going to be. And when I'm 50, you just don't know it. You're just going to be gathering, all the rest of you are gathering dust. I'm like, getting dirty.
Got to change glasses. Oh, well, I can see you now.
There you go. Okay, so what happens is if your belief system is that, and that's why I had to ask you, Shelley, I'm talking to you and everybody at the same time. I had to ask because if your belief system is that it's evil, then everything's evil, then when something comes to you that's good, you won't know the difference because you're not operating through your heart or your higher self or your gut, the trio. Instead, you'd be working with your ego trying to tell you that you should be afraid of everything. Don't wake up. And that's not true. When you start seeing tree spirits, if you are afraid of ugly faces, then you're not going to like some of these spirits, but they're beautiful.
I've seen spirits before.
Yeah, and some beautiful.
This was just the feeling in my head.
Right, and I'm just telling people, some degree, that the definition of it is what you have to transform out, because some of the ugliest things are the most sweetest things that you've ever seen. You just don't have to look at them with that eyes. But if you carry that frequency, so we're just now going to jump into what's going on with you. Because on Tuesday, I'm going to ask, did Tuesday affect? Yes. Now, what's going on with Tuesday? So I will have to explain this. The woman that came onto the show, who's the moral aspect, and maybe this is probably why you're also here too, is to help me talk about this. What is the moral aspect when you know that someone that was your friend that has really wanted to be around certain people, and now they are surrounded by the power of those people, meaning those people knew intentionally how to put a spell on people, how to put them to sleep, how to control that energy, how to feed off of it. Is it our responsibility to help wake them up? Is it a moral thing? I mean, because so this is where I'm at as far as the moral dilemma. Now, at the same time, I have to be careful what I say on the show so that people don't go into automatic response or go into self-hypnosis, power of suggestion. For you, when I asked was it trying to enter, or did you just feel it? What was it doing?
It felt like it was trying to get in.
Okay. Okay, so one thing is you have a self-suffering program. That is, when you have your seals up, it's all good. But if you have shit that you have not addressed, that's unresolved, it can leave you vulnerable. I don't know why they do air quotes. But it leaves you vulnerable, which means there can be more thinner spots. And then, so you have a self-suffering program that's running, but at the same time, so they just went right, well, here's an unexplained one. Okay, so your spiritual immune system is working through an issue. Okay, and as you start to work consciously as a human being with that self-suffering program and rebuilding your spiritual immune system, because we have them, you will get, so there was a party that went to the astral plane. So you have to remember when you go to sleep, just kind of go up to the seventh plane. Try to hang out with God, the creator that all it is. You don't really want to hang out in the astral plane. I know people love to astral travel, but it's not really a good place right now from my perspective of what I've been seeing. So they're spiritual goobers. And so if I ask on the scale, if you go to, let's say demons the worst, to crazy ass energies that, you had just a lower form of crazy ass energies that happen to be affecting you. Based on it came as attraction, because your inner world creates your outer world. So you're on a soul level communicating with yourself that you are working on something about the immune system or spiritual immune system with that self-suffering program. And it was related to, loftiness. So you are addressing it. So as you're addressing and solving this, the key emotion is loftiness. So that means people, so well, okay, that's a clue, because it said stop live stream. I said no. So you're addressed on this because you're growing and you're connected. Now, do you and your husband both do healing stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're addressing lofty energy, maybe like your mother, people like that, how your reaction is, how you've developed it, the experiences you've had from it. So you're learning to take and disconnect those, how well you know it. It doesn't mean you're going to get rid of all of the wisdom. You're going to take the wisdom off, and the memory can start being a memory, and the emotions that controlled you in those responses will dissolve out. You haven't got there yet, but that's the energy that's playing out. At the same time, you're going to be more vulnerable. I don't want to say that, like a thinner layer, more. See, stop streaming. My computer wanted to shut down. Okay, that's enough technology stuff. I think I got it. So be it. So
yeah, I'm hearing weird stuff in these.
Yeah, it wants to shut you down. Okay, so we understand the intention of the lofty energy is to shut you down. You even said when I was at 5, it was the shutdown. So now we're learning to address that. Do you need to really obey that? Do you really need to go there? Do you really need to make that decision to stop that and to interrupt the flow of your life? No. So the energy that you were feeling was not something that had to be so threatening that it was going to harm you, control you, abuse you. But it would have tapped into those particular emotions and things like this that you wouldn't be able to make the choices you're looking for. It would actually interfere with your choices. So they said that you have an alarm. 5-year-old self says, hey, can we address this? And I said, okay. And then there's the fear. Oh, okay. My mind just went fear, definition, and pending doom. So you had a definition of something that you didn't need defined as scary and fearful, but you did define it that way because other people defined it. So they're telling me that you've been conditioned.
Timer.
Yeah, I got 10 seconds left.
Okay.
I predicted a car crash at that age, and when I told everybody about it, they didn't believe me, and then when it happened, they've just looked at me as if to say, how the hell did you know that?
Okay. Ooh, okay. Ignore that. Shh. I just can't go too far over.
Yeah.
This is too juicy. Because it was shut down, you're ready to turn it back on, because you don't have to take their fear and mark it as your truth anymore. And you're ready to say, how did I know that? Now, because it's based on a self-suffering program from a past life, genetics, past life, they're saying that there's a part of you that has to work through your second chakra relations. And that means people with other people, which would make sense if you think lofty. So your 5-year-old self says, if you could allow yourself to begin to open up that 7th chakra and be safe with the energies to come through, and not have your mom think that you have to have impending doom, be fearful, or any of that stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're learning how to, so just make sure, because you're on the fence of wishy-washy. I mean, there's so many juicy things
see,
to talk about here.
I always the bad stuff, like when someone's going to die. I always know the bad stuff when someone's going to die. So.
Okay, welcome. Yeah, welcome to my world too. Okay, so you're going to ask your spirit, remember, don't go to the astral, go up to the 7th plane, the crater, all that is. Number 2, understand that you have guards. Maybe communicate with them more. As soon as, and as soon as shit comes around, you know that the spiral of white light can, you know, it's going to be an automatic, you know, flushing down the toilet. You know, you've got these abilities, and once you you know, train and clean this, that's fine. The main thing they want you to focus on is that you have to not feel helpless. Your 5-year-old felt helpless.
They're trying again. Yeah. No, they're just they're just trying again.
So feel the feeling that they're coming in, and they said that it's time to raise that up, time to create the disconnection. So you would do L1D, okay? And you're going to hold in nice and deep, left wrist, and then you're going to push. There you go. Yep. Wait, your thumb needs to go over to the edge.
Oh, edge. Yep.
No, underneath the thumb.
Oh. All right.
That's okay. I know what it's like, this versus this. Okay,
got it now.
Yes, and then that's what you're going to work on. Make sure your thumb is deep.
Yeah.
Because you that hiccup, that moment, that fear stepped into with your ability, that's where you go first. And so it's not something you have to be afraid of. It's just that you have to go and heal that. Now, ego will say, but if I take that away, then bad stuff's going to come in. No, not true. You will actually stop magnetizing it in. You will actually learn how to buff out your spiritual immune system further. Yeah. Meaning you're not going to have the signature that says, I have fear. Please come. No. Your inner world don't have to call the outer world to do that. And the outer world is this quantum field. So with all those possibilities, you may as well just learn to disconnect that through that fear, through that ego, get rid of it so you can pick better. Okay. So, it's just that little program. And I said, are you done with the self-suffering program? Yes, ma'am. Okay. What do you
Definitely.
You got an accent there. Yes, ma'am. You're just like,
I know. I've been talking with accents lately.
Okay. Now we understand. So you're going to start allowing yourself to get to new abilities. But first you have to get that 7th chakra to want to open up, but remove the fear. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. All right. We will talk to you later, and I'm proud of you for honoring yourself as well as me. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Okay. You know what I forgot to do is allow Amy to be co-host. So if she needs to do anything, she can do anything. So.
Oh, I'm allowed now?
Huh?
I'm allowed now?
Yeah, I thought I had clicked it, but apparently not. What did you guys learn from it? Because there's so many juicy things. I mean, this teacher inside of me is like, oh, we can talk about this, this, and this, and this. Like, oh my God. Don't overwhelm them. They love to overwhelm. Of course, that's how I learn. All right, give me some 1-minuters. Oh, hold on. Let me just finish. I got to catch up here. Flow, baby, flow. I love Betty's attitude. Yes. Look at all these beautiful faces. Yes. Okay, it's funny is that I did Friday's class. I got to make sure I don't wear gray tomorrow because Friday class, I took a picture, I took the videos, put them up. I was wearing gray, the same thing, not the same thing, but the gray hat and all that. And I thought, you'll be able to tell the difference because I finally figured out how I can get them into video or library.
Oh, okay.
Library. So then I put in, and so the following week, which was last week, I put up, I go, apparently I like gray on Fridays. What's up with that? So I've got to pick a different color on Friday unless that becomes a theme I didn't know about. That way you can tell the difference of the videos when they go up. Right. So it looks like all 4 are like right in a row from the same day. No.
Well,
okay.
It does kind of freak a few out. I know it does Vicky on Tuesday because it's
Oh, yes, because
because the tribal is our Monday night and your Tuesday morning, and then the show, your Tuesday night is our Tuesday morning. So we've slept for whatever.
exactly, a brand new day, reset.
And Vicky's like, oh, she's wearing the same thing. I'm like, yeah, it's the same day there.
Yeah, yes, and oh gosh, yes, that's what's funny. I do, and so they go to bed with me and they wake up with me. Hello. It's like, yep, I'm always here. Oh, so the cost of groceries for you guys in I'm not sure where Marianne lives. But it's has it gone up for you guys in Minnesota and anywhere in there in the United States?
Meat has gone up.
Oh, how is that meat thing? Because we only heard, well, only over here in South Australia, I heard that you guys were like Wendy's. No. One of those fast food chains. Yeah, I think it was Wendy's that couldn't get hamburgers.
Honestly, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, they were saying there was like a meat shortage because of the fact of the coronavirus and people can't cut up the meat. There's not that it's a meat shortage, it's that people can't process it.
Yeah.
That's a sign right there. Anyway.
I heard there's a pig processing plant about 35 miles from me, and they had to euthanize I don't know how many thousands of hogs because they couldn't process them, because the plant had to shut down because of the coronavirus. There were so many cases in that town that it was equivalent to New York City.
Oh, wow.
Per capita.
Yeah, that per capita thing. Yeah, we just were, South Australia's been doing good. We have been at 439, and we've been steady. And then now we went up to 440. And the only reason we had the one was because I don't understand what happened, except for somebody that had coronavirus was in lockdown. And then they came across and flew over. And I have so many questions. And then when they got here, they had to declare that they had COVID. And then I don't know what happened to them, but now our number has to go up because it came in, because they said the person had privileges to visit someone that's dying. And I'm like, how are you even going to visit? Everybody's always in lockdown. Why don't you just use FaceTime? And so my mind's going there and I'm looking, but it's like our biggest thing that we saw was, if you're coming in, if you're going to go on a plane, we have to check your temperature and all this other stuff before you're even allowed on the plane. So my questions are, did they isolate her? Did the whole plane get infected? What's going on? Did they even warn these people that were getting on this plane with this person? So it's like I haven't heard any of the latest, but we've been doing pretty good and we've relaxed a lot of the things. That's why Diana was able to come over. She sat up here and I sat over there and we did the healing and we did all that. So that was good. I wanted to muscle test her, but it's like, put your hand down. I just want to hug her. Hey, put your arms down. I'm like, should I just sit on my hands? What do you do with them?
My neighbor lady had to put her dog down yesterday.
Oh, that's right.
And I used to doggy sit this dog. Her name was Skittles. Oh, she was a Pomeranian. And so my heart just dropped when I read that. And so I went over there and I got my first hug in over 3 months. A real hug.
It's amazing how much chemical peptides of goodness comes out of a hug.
Mm-hmm.
And so when Diana was standing there, I says, I wanted to make sure she felt it. So I was like generating all this energy inside and I just like sent it to her and she's like, I mean, she would have done it anyway, but I just watched her vibrate, like that resonant energy, but I was just hoping she felt that air hug. but it was funny. So somebody's paid, and give me a second. I'm trying to catch up all these good talkings here. Let's see. How are we doing? La la la. Yes, remember today is the last day. So Shelly got her name in at that
Yes,
last day.
yeah.
And the next person that gets their name in is James. James, are we doing it like this, dude? Or if you're coming on, you let me know how you want it done, James. I bet you've answered already because you know me. All right, let me get through the little things here. Let's see.
I read in the feed that Mama Donna thinks this is interesting.
Well, that's good. That's good. Are you proud of you proud of Ames? You know. All right, where are we at? Where are we at?
I don't know if she's still here. You can put me up.
Huh?
You can put me back up in the corner.
Not yet. I can't see my screen. Wendy's is better now, so the meat's back in business. I read that you choose your food and clothes and the color of your chakras and need attention to help chakras function better. Yeah, that's a lot of times, yes, energy and colors will do that because most people don't realize the frequency of certain colors. They will need it just so they can help produce minerals, or they need to stay away from certain colors. Like I love pink, but my body is like, it's connected to a thought, or it's like my vibration, and it's like the most weirdest feeling. And then there's some days like you saw me yesterday wear pink, but as long as I balance with yellow, for some reason I was okay. That was bizarre.
But I've seen you wear that same pink with another with like a. I don't know if it was. I don't remember what was underneath it. I think it was pink underneath it. I think it's the color pink part of it.
Yeah, there's certain colors. Ooh, I found James. Okay, hold on. Been doing good. A girl from my past came in. Her name is Crystal. We spent the day together. I really needed that. Also, me and Melody have been speaking more via text, just checking with the spirit on the right path. Okay. Have had a lot of deja vu today. Bad. Really? Oh, so he's feeling the overlayer of the old and the now and the new. Yes. So
Yeah.
he's built. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're choosing which path you want.
Yeah, I've seen some really weird things happen today too, but that's beside the point.
Yeah. Okay. So then he says, kind of wondering if Crystal came back into my life. I never thought we would speak again. Kind of weird. Ooh. That's interesting. When a person comes back in, that can be good, and then sometimes it can be bad. If an X is an X for a reason, sometimes we will double check ourselves to see whether or not, set the timer, whether or not we have finished that particular lesson and let go of and healed that and moved on and took the wisdom, or if we're we were out of sync and now all of a sudden we're in sync and we're meant to be together. So there's different ways that one can be. So we're going to have to look at it and get the right button here. So not sure why Marianne sent in money. You'll have to tell me why, because that is not what the money, the money doesn't match the reading. So I'm just trying to figure what that is about. Now that I finally found my screen, I'm good to go. What?
Tribal.
No. Okay, so I see discouragement from your part. So when you think of these deja vus, they were probably just very much glimpses, but they were trying to actually tell you a story, something that has to do with pictures and snapshots and things like this that activated something in the heart that needs to be addressed. And so then if other people have come in, so if I look at why did she come in, I'll ask the soul, why did it come in? And there are happy reasons. So it's not about letting the X be the X. It's like for happy reasons. So I think a part of you has to remember, because you were feeling kind of poo-poo about this. And so I think Spirit's way of generating you to don't have to go into hell. Don't keep repeating that. And if there's any issues that you have to work with this older person, it is that awkward energy that you need to heal out. And they said L1D, that's where that's set. So you're going to learn to remove that conditioning. The okay, so now I'm just curious because all of a sudden I wanted to do the reading on Crystal, but it goes in a melody, and there's something about arrogance. Amy, look up arrogance real quick for me, and I'm going to look at this with grabbing the relationship deck. And melody, I think, is going to be the first thing that's in my mind because it says that. The children's card came up. Retreat, retreat. So it's safe to love. Now, here's the question. Do you want any more kids? Does she want kids? Have you communicated and talked about children? If it's about your children, does she like your children? Because if she's going to be a big part of her life, she's got to treat them as if they're her own. Is as if you adopted a child. Children will know whether they're loved or not, and when the person's faking it or not. Well, sometimes they do and sometimes they don't, because now they brought up how my daughter fell for this person and they were just trying to trick. But so it's, yeah, but it's safe for you to love. Now, I don't feel like that, even though is this card about melody. No. There's something to do with being reminded that you have some joys in your space, that inner world of joy, and you should be bringing forward more of your inner world of that joy. And can you bring it to the table?
I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
Having or revealing an exaggerated sense of one's own importance or abilities. And similar is haughty, conceited, self-important, opinionated, full of oneself, superior, overbearing.
So the question is, do you want are you seeing this? Have they displayed this? Do you want that to really be part of it? Because how anybody does anything is how they do everything. And when people say they've changed about maybe an action on the outside, the real proof will be when they've changed that behavior altogether. So you got to decide. James wants more arrogance people in his space? No. Or I need to be less arrogant? Or how? So you really know from your past, with the way you've had to can be conditioned by women, you're growing out of that. Do you really need to go back to the habit because you think that that's love? You really need to be coming in more honesty with yourself to find out on that aspect. If I asked about Crystal, it is, there's a codependency. So go back and notice, was their relationship based on a codependence thing that maybe you had something in common but it's very unhealthy? If that's the case, start noticing, maybe I don't want that. I think you're preparing yourself for someone different down the road. And the only way to do that is to heal the baggage. He said they're saying that right now you are to look at certain red flags that are repeating. You know, how James does anything is how he does everything, but that's not the case because he's been using tools. And the more tools he uses, the more he's going to start deciding, that used to be me. Now, you have to understand, with these women, you have hope. And you have been lucky to always find love or somebody in your space. If you couldn't find ever a date and you couldn't do that, then you would be wanting to work on more relationships. But because you kind of have that pattern that you can call in a person to love or to have them love you, then even if those two people aren't there, Spirit has lined those up. I mean, yes, I can see Spirit has lined them up. If you decide, no, you have something else down the road. May not be on your timing, but it will be divine timing. But the more that you heal, the more you're going to get to that space where you're going to recalibrate. So now as I'm looking, just real quick, it says that as someone returns into your life, You'll go into the false self-assurance of the honeymoon phase, meaning there's like bliss, but you need to ask your friends. Well, I'm considered one of your friends, which would make sense because there's a part of you that still don't love yourself. And they're asking you to love yourself a little bit more so that you can actually come more into alignment with the right person. The next person up is Marianne. Marianne. Again, Marianne, why is it you sent it that way? Let's find out if she has why. What? La la la. I gotta catch up. La 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 la. Oh. Okay, so that's fine. I had that. I got a tip. Marianne sent me a tip. Oh, you sweetheart. Oh, I love you. Oh, okay. So I'm just looking at what James says. I got to catch up on it. So tiny screen. I can't tell which one I like the more or less. Marianne says, get the books. I know. I've got to get the books. I'm going to get there eventually. But yeah, it's just thrown me off how I know I had, yes, why don't you just say the word and we'll get it done already? The mandala. Okay. First 1 minute.
First 1 minute? Okay. Is Miss Patty.
Miss Patty. That's weird. I went from whoever used to joke with you, like I said, I heard your name with a rhyming name, but whoever that was, all of a sudden I wanted to play with dough, but then all of a sudden I wanted to play with clay, and then it was like, no, bread. What the hell does all that mean? Oh, wow, it's now I've got clay. So something about creating something. You're going through that creation that you've done of a particular program to protect yourself. And now you're coming up against it, meaning you're ready to bring more information, make it more conscious, bring that information. Because what you don't bring to conscious becomes fate. But you're ready to do this, but you're at the level of dark night of the soul, which means, are you more frustrated? Are you any more negative stuff that's coming to the surface? They said that there's a part of you that has to begin to pay attention, it really needs to hit the timer, to compulsion. And they said the compulsion has a lot to do with becoming self-conscious. So you have to become aware of self-conscious, meaning more vulnerable. Amy, look up self-conscious with a not conscience, or with conscience, but conscience, self-conscious. So you have to become more aware when you are doing this, because this is where you can easily put yourself back to sleep, because you're going to go, oh, but my feelings say this. That's fine, but if your ego is the one reading it, ain't going to help you. You got to get more into your ego, your spirit mindset, and yes, I feel this. I'm being self-conscious. I feel this. I feel the limitation. And what are we going to do about it? Okay. So that's what we're looking at. Let's see now. And they want you to look at your reaction that you have built out of that. So
self-conscious.
It's CONSCIOUS.
Okay. Feeling undue awareness of oneself, one's appearance, or one's actions. Embarrassed, unforgettable. Unforgettable.
Yeah. So unforgivable or unforgettable?
No. Okay, I misread that totally. Uncomfortable.
There you go. So the point is that it's uncomfortable, but sometimes it's embarrassing, but there's a vulnerability factor that plays into it. A vulnerability factor. Okay, who's next?
Miss Vicky, and she just wrote in the feed, Spirit just played a dirty trick on me. I was thinking I should have a veggie sandwich at Subway, but didn't know which exit to take. So I got off and was going to Hungry Jack's.
You're welcome.
I totally ended up in the wrong lane, have to make a left turn and get on the highway, wrong way. So I get off at the first exit and end up at Subway.
All right, you aimed and you got. So Subway, yes, I love it. Yes. You let them do driving. It can be fun. Hopefully safe.
Vicky is the next one.
Ah, Miss Vicky. Okay, good. Okay. The travels. Now, there's going to be an interesting part because as you're traveling, they said that you're going to meet up with some, some of the things like anxiety but just don't fall for it. Meaning you don't have to believe everything you tell yourself. So don't run there. Become aware that I could, or I can pull it out. I could, but I don't have to. And they said if anxiety seems to occur as she's traveling to her new location to live, which part do you want her to do? Okay, so we want you to make sure you do bladder 64, the one on the side of the foot. Because that has to do with the will. And then if the will gets messed up, you can feel this paralyzed, like, oh, I don't want to do this. No. And it can lead to other things. So they're telling me, make sure you rub bladder 64, but both feet, yes. Make sure you do left first. And you may have to do more rubbing on the left than you do the right, because the left side of the body has to do with, I just want to avoid. Whereas the right part of it says, I have to bully. I don't want to bully. So you're arguing with yourselves, which would make sense of how do you convince yourself to continue or go back home. Okay, who's next?
Miss Betty.
Miss Betty. Ooh. Mm-hmm. How do you find the me in what's missing in me? Okay, how do you find the me in missing in me? What are you talking about? And still be humble and get rid of the hatred, and so you're going through a strategy. So simply put, you're starting to question, how do I get there? Now, has she defined her there? No. So you may say, okay, how do I want to get there? Get where? You may want to answer that first, because right now you got a strategy that's running that aims nowhere. And the part of the end results within that strategy happens to be that you're supposed to be stressed, have some impending doom, have problems with their power, going into I'm a good person, and then going back into self-conscious, going up to, which affects, does a self-imposed limitation. Now, Spirit said, because we love you so much, that Spirit said, just tell her. I said, well, why didn't you just make that part of the reading? But the incident that occurred in your house had a lot to do with dread. You haven't tapped into that feeling that, like, okay, that past part was done, but the dread that would lead up to why somebody and what the situation was about. The dread of going through it and the dread after. So dread seemed somehow to control this strategy. So I want you to heal with R3S, because notice how it affects the self-efficacy. The dread affects the self-efficacy. You cannot get that end result. Okay?
Amanda.
Going right to Amanda, L1D, immediately. Hold. And then the reason why is because they said, you just don't feel compatible with certain things anymore. But you can't put into words or terms of feeling into describing them. And they said that it has a lot to do with you're getting ready to, you've seen it. This is the right way to do it. This is the wrong way. This is the right way. But when you hear the right way's voice, you're going to have to differentiate and say, whose right way? Where did I learn that? Because it does throw you into an alarm. And that's what the R3S does, is to help you break this. That lot of that shock of this is the right way to do it from the past has actually, when you were like 4 years old, has actually been part of your setting of your GPS, that you have to do it a certain way. Boom, 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 boom. It's not yours anymore. So if you can begin to notice, just feel like somebody's in your head, like your mother, you need to do, the right way to do it, find out what that is, and then re-question it. Now, Spirit has revealed something that I had remembered earlier. Timestamp this for me, Ames. The vainness. I grew up not understanding why this word followed me. Like hope followed me. Vain. Now, I have worked so diligently on it that I have not thought about it in years. But somehow vain is connected to the number 4, which had something to do with the meridian and the way my physical body is about with life. Because that came in, this is something that I have to physically take care of. And vainness was, you can't toot your own horn. You're not meant to stand up and be pretty. It's like you can't be proud of yourself. This is part of the collective. This means that the paradigms and stuff that was there, this had also something to do with a past life, but yet it came down also through genetics. That is what I wrote down this morning, but they didn't want me to see it. How interesting is this? Because, let me get there. There was something that I saw. Number 4 is that conscientious number with a focus of a long-term security. A focus on building a secure foundation for the future. It's kind of like what I'm doing. Because when I would be younger, and I have very specific ages, the one that I will share with you happens to be when I graduated. I graduated at 17. And I remember being in my cap and gown, looking back. So I took a snapshot of, oh my God, it was a realization that I have to now go out there and create a secure foundation for myself. And I've had these different snapshots from all through the ages, little self. And then I did it again, older, but not as much. And as I began to heal those, it is those right and wrongs, you can't be vain, you can't do this and this and that. But what actually surprised me, when I looked at a values level 4, it was about precise and systematic in defining one single meaning for one word. Defines a rigid box in which the meaning of the word is described precisely, and everybody uses this word in the same way. So what does that mean? I'm all about creating the future and helping you empower to understand. My children, when they were sick or I thought they were close to death, that fear of not having that safety, security, stability, and joy, my goal was to find the third option, to seek it, not through man, not through man's God, but it was through the inner part of me of knowing with a great confidence of what's going on, which I understand now why I wasn't supposed to be vain in all this. I knew that Spirit said you can't go to regular college where you become a psychiatrist or you would be in a brain expert or any of this. Those are my things that I desire. And quantum physics, I wasn't supposed to take those fields because it was more of this is how you're supposed to think continuously. Instead, I was able to develop myself in such a way. One of the huge things was learning about being precise with words, about how precisely we use them and define them through our reality. And what words control you, what words carve your world out. This is why I'm always looking at the way that we use flippant language. And because when you look at the container of the value, let's see, you hear a word of talk about the right values, doing the right thing. This is the right, so, but it's about a value. When we are looking at our values, values are not what we like, but what is important to us. And so in the middle of the night, I woke up and I said, so why am I, because we work on the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. I've done really good on the spiritual, mental, emotional. Why do I have this thing with the physical? And they said, oh, I'm so glad you said that. Put it on the scale, that measuring thing. People are important to me. I said, okay. And they said, what is that? I says, oh, that's like a 9 or 10. And now say, I am important to my physical body is important to myself. I said, okay. And the next thing I know, it's a 1. I was like, wait, what? I need to change my value container. I need to change it. And every individual set of values is different from another individual's. But we try to fit ourselves to say the value of this, the moral of this, all of this is based on one thing. And there's an underlining of certain laws and the universal laws, but there is also about growth. Okay. It's very important that it's about evolution. Now, here it has dried up that one for a second. Excuse me. Bobby said she's had a very odd week. I keep getting this feeling someone is standing next to me, but when I turn to look, it's like a black shadow just for a second, then gone. Really? Okay. Well, first of all, you're moving into I knew this is how my physical body is, this is how my life is, all these other things. You're moving into the unknown. Now, I know that with this pandemic, people don't know the unknown. Now, our main job as souls is to come in and make known the unknown. And when people are like, oh, but I can't, oh my God, change. Now, 5 is my best friend. 5 is, if you understand numerology, it's about change. So when I see 555, it's like, ooh, I'm getting ready to shift, It's like when some people see the death card. Oh my God, in astrology. Oh my God. It means change, young lady.
Bobby, this is 1 minute.
Huh?
This is her 1 minute because she was the next one.
Oh, well. Okay, well, I'm just going to share this anyway. Okay. So when we begin to notice, if we're focused over here and we defined it as dark or the unknown is bad, that's kind of like what happened when the yin and yang became out of unity, and that yang became a strong force while the yin was quieted into submission. Women that did healings, that was crock, and you needed to shut that down. Let's take more of this and shut that down. Let's rape her. Let's shut that down. Let's make sure women's stupid, don't read. Shut that down. And it wasn't always about penises and pussies. It was about, or I should say vaginas, but it's about the yin and yang inside. So then you have a variety of people that are waking up with all these gender, I can't think of the exact word, but you kind of know what I mean. So they are familiar that maybe I'm a girl, but maybe I feel like a boy. It's a knowing. So it was the yin and yang that really was, we had it out here, we could see it, but it's changing. It's coming back to unity. And now it's finding that unity within, because the inner world creates our outer world. And the more we begin to understand and heal ourselves. So going with this, Bobby, when it comes to this black shadow, you have been running from this particular black shadow. And I asking if it's evil. And they go, no. Is if on a scale from demons to your emotional issue of a trauma? And they said, oh, it's the emotional issue of a trauma. And I said, so it took shape and form. Yes. And you are a part of you has learned to hang on the outside of yourself. Why? Because fear has defined, controlled you. In what age are we referring to? At 2 years old, that it literally was a traumatic event for you. So you could always feeling, oh, there it is. And one of the things that's coming to feel like it's creeping around the corner is you're finally making known the unknown of what instability looks like. part of that instability is that this is an arrested development and you're starting to wake up from this. And they said the main thing is that you feel weak. Your physical body takes the reaction of feeling weak because it has to do with an arrested energy that came from a bullying energy field. So your body, this is how I'm going to cope, handle, deal. This is how I'm going to change the expression of my DNA because of this. And this stability became very unstable, and you didn't resolve it out. You didn't cope it out. You didn't. That needs to be resolved. So when you have this fear of this, they're saying, Bobby, that you could go into R1S, right wrist, first position, hold the thumb nice and soft, finger here. Okay. And they said that it feels like you got to compel to correct yourself. You got to behave. You got to, it's going to, or it feels like it's going to control you. It's like, okay. But remember, this is your 2-year-old self where you had to learn that you know, certain behaviors, certain mannerisms, certain way of your personality was supposed to be. And there is this fear of being controlled. So you've learned how to control yourself. So this is what I see. Major moment. Ah! All of a sudden you met that major moment. And just before you started to go into the next moment, you forgot something, which then locks in sometimes a physical aspect of healing issues. And so like if you, you know, you may start stuttering, or you may start getting hot flashes, or it's whatever, it's locked in. It's right there. It's a lock in. So they're asking you to begin to heal that. Hopefully that's enough. And the reason I carried on a little bit more so people can understand you don't always have to see the dark as evil. Mm-hmm. Just saying. Okay.
TP.
Oh, I just want to hug her. Okay, so you're finally meeting, you've seen it, but you're more aware of it. Your 5-year-old self says, I am completely petrified. Now, as I talk to your little self, turn it on, as I talk to your little self, you can't trust anything. And they're saying that, please, you need to learn how to heal out the trust, but you can't heal out the distrust issue because you have to heal out the bullying. You literally felt the bullying. And the feeling of the bullying actually causes you to have a phobia, so that you keep going into this. Your soul is asking you that it's time to release this phobia. It's time to move beyond this phobia. And they're saying one of the things is to become aware of this what is as a visual aspect, you have an excess of distrust. And notice where it sets and doesn't have sound. It's like you cued yourself. Oh, when they use the gesture, or they use this tone, or they use this words, they're going to do it. I can see it. They're going to do it. And they said you've invested a lot of energy to catch and protect yourself there. And they said that it's time to get that power back, and so that you can learn how to stand up for something instead of falling for something. And but once you get your power back, you won't have to stand up in fear. You'll actually learn how to just start to thrive, because you're like, I'm not doing this anymore. Okay, you don't have to pause. You don't have to freeze. You can go. All right, who's next?
Danny, she says, I actually don't have anything specific. Would you mind checking in with Jeff for me? I know he was around recently, but I'm not sure if this was just a pop in to say, hi, how are you? Or I'm here. Remember, you're okay and safe. Or is there something more that I'm missing?
Okay, so they got the first word is volunteer. So it's about what's volunteering in learning your learning or giving, being. Volunteer to become more of what you believe, which is spirituality and religion. It's about what you believe, learning to allow yourself to dive deeper in it without fear. And they said that you're going to have to learn how to, because it's upside down support, you're going to have to learn how to support your inner world, creates that support for yourself. Because when you do, then all of a sudden you're going to feel the outer world support, not from people as much as you're going to feel with spirit. to actually become who you are. And the idea is that you're ready. Don't leave when you're about ready to become more of who you are ready to be, because then you start doing the betrayal thing. And they're saying that, so the message is that you have support. You have, the message is what I just said, but it is allowing yourself to say, I give myself permission. I am intentionally, with mindfulness, doing this, and I'm ready. Because I feel like you are ready. I mean, it's, if not, you're really getting ready, because I can feel it. Okay, who's next?
Brittany H, and she says, what is with my abundance block? Also, if we have time, how can I transmute this head cold away?
Okay, so the head cold has a lot to do with your habits, and the habit has to do with a habitual what? A feeling worthless. You have a tendency to pick people up, and what happens if they have a habitual feeling of worthlessness, then you're actually creating an inner crying. And so your sinuses are, and your head cold is that it's on a collective aspect. Any cold, any virus is from a collective negative thoughts and beliefs that actually will cause you to be in a particular way of fighting yourself. Because as you begin to grow spiritually, you're going to fight against yourself. And when you do that, you're going to cause yourself this imbalance. And the reason I haven't really had any, I don't know if I've ever had any viruses or flus from over here. I've been here for 6 years or more. And the reason why is because I've been diligently working on anything that's to do with negative or negative belief. If I see somebody thinking and feeling this way, discernment tells me that I don't have to invest my energy. I can just take and clear this out, raise my frequency, and come back into alignment. And there are days when I will feel like I'm sick, and then all of a sudden I realize, oh, I'm picking other people up, or there is a consistency of a thought or a feeling, or like, for instance, if I'm eating food, my body's like, oh yeah, this is tied to when there was this resentment, or this is tied. So we learn how to change these responsibilities. So for you, the part of knowing when somebody is feeling worthless or insecure about themselves, your body is resonating, going, oh, I can agree with that, without talking, speaking. But your body is still creating the chemical peptide becoming less than. So you still create that negative energy to drop you. I don't know if you've had anybody that had a wounded pride lately. So just be aware of that. Next.
Nethy.
Nethy. All right, Nethy.
Okay.
Oh, a heartache, huh?
My last one.
Okay. Nethy, there's a heartache. Oh, I just broke my pendulum.
Oh, no.
All right, pause that. Let's start again. I'll grab this one. You know, I got to go and gather them all. I got them all over the place. Yours are all in the bedroom because they fit in the corner nice. All right, here we go. Okay, so the heartache and a panic, concerned. There's a debt. Does it have to be paid? There's so much going on. A disgrace. Rejecting what? Rejecting. Oh, look up disbelief. Rejecting is there's a disbelief. So that's mainly, and then you make yourself irrelevant. So there's like all this stuff that goes on, and then your coping tool is to make yourself irrelevant. Disbelief, Amy's going to look up for me.
Brenda, Pilly just texted me. She has sent a payment for Nethy to have a reading.
Oh, Nethy, do you want to come on? Because there's a rejection going on too. So let me check.
What was I supposed to look up?
Disbelief. Yes, Nethy. Thank you, Zoe. Zoe's name gets to go in the thing. And Nethy, you have had pay it forward. Nethy, would you like to come in or talk? Your choice. And maybe you can explain all these things I've been saying, and maybe you got, you know it, and we can help resolve.
The inability or refusal to accept that something is true or real.
So, like for instance, the disbelief that when my ex was sitting there in bed with me, and I'm all excited about life, and I'm talking about, this is me, la 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 la, I'm talking about my stuff, and I'm thinking that we're in relation of communicating and in sync, and I always felt like it wasn't, but I kept denying that part, and then he tells me, just keep your mouth shut. I don't believe in anything you do. I don't like it. Keep it away from me. I don't ask for help. I'm not going to be there for you. He says, I'm done with it. Don't bring it up. If we were anywhere else, don't bring it up. And I'm like, he said, don't expect any participation. And I was in such disbelief that this man that I loved, he said, and then what got me the most is when he said he never believed it. And I'm thinking, we have been together for a long time. And now that, wow, I was out because he would always try to keep it down. Oh, you don't want to buy that building. You don't want to do that. I remember I'm smart. You get into this disbelief. So they're saying there's the amount of disbelief. So once we find out whether Nettie wants to come on or not, whatever she wants to do, that's up to her. Oh, Brittany, don't be a failure as a mom. Get rid of that. You're supposed to show up the way she wants you to. So do your best. Heal that shit out. And she says, okay, so now let's see. Not just me and her here. What did you say, Ames?
Oh, Nettie just wants to do it through the feed.
You got it. Okay, that's fine, honey. That's fine. Okay, so first of all, you've heard this 1 minute that I gave you. Hopefully you did. She may not have. The first word was heartache. Yes or no? It's important that, because this one's big. It feels like whatever's going on in your life right now, you're feeling it. It's not just something that energetically I'm seeing. This feels like something that is like, oh God, this is my life today. But are you aware of it? Or do you know it? Okay. So once Nettie tells me or not, is there a heartache going on? I can't remember what else I said, but if I were just to have to repeat, what do you want me to actually have her focus on? Do you feel indifferent at times? So she said yes. Okay, so do you feel indifference at times and disapproval? Now, are you disapproving, or is she feels the disapproval going on? And it really is changing the frequency in your space big time, because now my head wants to hurt, not spin, but hurt. It's like there may be a device on it. And they said a lot of it has to do with, it feels like invading energies. So disbelief. We read the definition of disbelief. I gave an example of disbelief. Is that going on? If so, say disbelief. What word stands out? Maybe write out the word that stands out, because I'd like to have some form of connection. Okay. Okay. When we, the irrelevant part of failure. I didn't know there was an irrelevant part of failure. Did I say it wrong? No. What the hell does that even mean? Irrelevant part of failure. Oh, the missing part of failure. Oh, you are absolutely correct. Is that what you want me to tell? We have the ability to problem solve and to evolve. A lot of people that are stuck in a certain age and older folks, and I don't really want to say too much, but let's just say that when you watch people that don't want to exercise their brain or to are not forward thinkers, they're not in the now, they live in the past, or those that play in the now don't even relish moving forward because they're the program. So these people won't really problem solve. So what do I mean by this? Like, for instance, I was when I was trying to figure out how to cook food properly, what is the best way to cook, and learning skills. You need to understand part of this failure is that if you can develop skills and problem solve out of failure, failure is not a dirty word. That is from the ego mindset. Failure is this, that's a misalignment. That door is not open. That's not. So as you begin to re-educate yourself about what is failure, you will begin to notice like, oh, well, I'm not doing that again as far as putting peanut butter, mix it with that because that flavor was just wrong. And it wasn't that it was a failure. It was, that's not alignment. And like I've seen some older people that refuse to drink water and then they get put in the hospital because there's something severely wrong with them. Oh my God. And when they start putting water back in their body, their mind goes correct, their physical body goes correct. And, but did they learn from it? No, the person that's taking care of them has learned. But it's not about failure. It's about, can you allow yourself to find the relevance of failure in the aspect that you kind of need that in order to grow and to evolve. So when something misaligns, you're like, what's the opportunity? Where's the wisdom? Oh God, yes. And like, this is all it seems like I'm working through. It's like, okay, I have communications, fix it on the fly and still look pretty. Because you're downloading more from the spirit to actually get, it's not about the logical and smart you are. Sometimes it's just about connecting and bringing through the spirit so that the yin can come and work with the yang. And as the yin information comes in and yang starts to take that information out and starts to it creates the third option. It creates a balance, alignment, and opportunities. So, but your mindset has to be right. That's what's happening here. Okay. You really need to notice. And when you go into indifference, which I'm not sure if you have gone in indifference. Okay. Okay. So X dot. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. If you go in indifference, that's another coping tool on top of another coping tool that actually might cause more bitch slaps, meaning wake up, wake up. But I understand why we do this because we don't have like the tools I'm referring to as like, oh my God tool and connecting heaven and earth, separating that energy. Because there's a pattern that falls into it. And you're like, okay, I just can't do it anymore. So I'm just going to try this emotion. And that's why sometimes people get into depression because they've tried this one. Shit, I'm just going to go there and forget that because it's just that. And with depression, it's over time hopeless. Now, what they're saying they want you to get out is that you haven't processed from like, I don't want to say the original experience, because the original experience, they said, was when you were being born into the world and facing the pain when you came in the room. There was something, what was the pain? Was it physical? No, it was worry. So you came in and you met worry in the room. That kind of set up you as in your programs that you have to worry or people worry. They said that there's a part of you that feels like overtime hopelessness. This keeps repeating itself and you kind of like hitting your head against a brick wall and you're eventually going to realize, take 2 steps over and go through the door. Stop trying to make a new wall or a new door with the cement wall. So you're asked to look at your auto response, notice the indifference, and to take care of the original pain. And if I asked Spirit what you want her to do, and they said that using stubbornness has actually saved you, but at the same time, you're using stubbornness on yourself, which then portrays yourself, putting yourself back into, aren't they supposed to love me? Is it true? I'm going to tell you straight out, no. Your mother is not meant to love you or has to love you. That's not true. It's huge, but when you start to really say in cement, expecting, it's, you're supposed to love me. That's what it's true. No, not they are meant to love you. Maybe someone else is supposed to be lying. But the lesson in the relevancy of this failure is that, oh, I'm not supposed to line up to that type of person or that belief system and that type of way of looking. Why do I want to keep forcing myself to go back to that? Is because we are looking for the original, which is to come into that alignment. Like with Amy, she's looking for love from her mother, but then she got adopted and she's looking for love from her mother. And because of that first experience, then when she got adopted, there was love, but the energy was her mom couldn't be really present because she had lost, well, two children. And when that energy field has that no presence while someone's present, Amy's like, oh, that's the one she's connecting to. And now she's going to feel like she has to fight for it, or she has to, wave around, Ma. But the original part was when, why don't I feel my mother love me? And that was being in the womb. And it could have been her mother asking herself as she's pregnant, why doesn't my mother love me? Why does she want me to get rid of this child? But you're learning about what love isn't, so that when you do have it, you can appreciate it. Ah, exactly. That's what my sister says. Okay, so it is making some sense. Oh, wow. Okay, good. It's making sense. Okay. If I ask Spirit, how can you help her heal? And they're saying that she's got to come to terms in relations. And the best part for you will be just, this will be your go-to. And you're going to have to do some Wayne Cooks, because when you start to hit some of these realizations, you're going to want to check yourself into indifference. And your spirit says, if you start doing Wayne Cook, maybe you don't have to go into indifference. So so go to my website, medicinewomansolution.weebly.com, look under healing tools look for Wayne Cook posture. Okay. And oh my God, you got a whole bunch there, especially like cord switching. Oh, there's so many good ones. Treasure chesting. Oh, look, the shit he put on me. I'm going to take that off tonight. And then pick yourself up. What are you doing, young lady? I'm not sending my energy over there, letting him have it. There's a lot of good healing tools for you. Okay. Thank you very much, Pili, for paying that forward. That was wonderful. We appreciate that. And Nethi, thank you so much for stepping up and communicating. That's wonderful. And I appreciate the honoring. It balances the energies. Okay, who's next? What's next? Are we done?
Well, Mama Donna just popped in. Can we do a 1 minute on her? She's brand new to our.
So we're gonna call her Mama Donna. Yeah.
Because everybody calls her Mama.
All right, Mama Donna. The energy is that something keeps taking your attention. Something draws your attention. Which makes you kind of forget what you were wanting to think about. Now, I'm asking Spirit, did she want that to happen? No, she has just always had, ever since she's little, something has taken her attention. And it's now habit. When I ask a little bit further, they said, well, she kind of hold grudges against that. And then I'll say, well, who's the original that took the attention? So when you look back to when you were 2 years old, who was in your environment? And if you understand, so Amy, define what grudges mean. Because monotonous, and we're going to have to look up what monotonous means, because monotonous is another thing that's in your energy field. And she's feeling attacked. Is she feeling attacked by what I'm saying? She can feel people actually attacking her, and then there's the imagination of how she thinks they're thinking, which is attacking her. So once Amy figures out, or once Amy gets the answer, she'll come on and tell us what monotonous and.
Hey, Google doesn't want to work.
Is your volume up on your phone?
Yep.
Are you using the camera for anything?
No, on my phone.
Oh, no, I know. I was trying to Hey Google the other day, and I realized I had Zoom open on it, and I was like, Google, stop being a boob. And it was like, hey, Google. Mine kicked in. Okay, let's just see if this works. Okay, so what did I say? Hey, Google, what does monotonous mean? Oh, you're just not going to read it to me. You son of a... I can't see it. Oh, grudges is what you're supposed to look up. So monotonous is uttered or sounded in one uncrying tone, marked by sameness and pitch. I didn't write. Is this what I asked? Yeah. Tedious, uniform, and unwavering, unwary. Other words, no, that's not the, Google, that wasn't a good answer. That monotonous. I'm energetically, it feels like, oh God, I got to go through this again.
Okay,
And it's tedious. Huh? Go ahead.
grudges is a lingering, strong feeling of ill will or resentment. An example of a grudge is when you still harbor bad feelings towards a person who insulted you 2 years ago.
Yes, and let's look at this emotion. This emotion kicked in, your energy left to support that because you got a twang and you're like, this is what I believe. There's nothing wrong with that. But it does affect your health. It does affect the way you mentally think. If you haven't taken your power off it and if you haven't resolved it out, then it becomes part of your personality and your temperament. So sometimes, do you like who you are? Great. Don't change anything. But if you really want to change something in your life, then sometimes you have to look at these little particular emotions. So the monotonous, it can get to you. Something that's repeating itself can totally get to you. It's tedious. It's like, no, you want it to change. You want it to change. Okay. You'll have to tell me how Mama done. And she was like, that's stupid. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if she's still here, but I will.
Kayla, I'm so flippin' proud of myself. I just wanted to share that today. She's witnessing. Hold on. I got rid of a toxic person in my life and I was staying neutral as much as possible and told this person to stop inviting negativity in their life. And I did the figure 8 to draw my energy back.
Yay!
You're amazing. Thank you so much for those tools you gave me. Oh, Michaela, I'm so proud. Oh, hold on. Yay. You are waking up. She must have known it. Is like, ooh, yay. Witnessed. Yes. Thank you very much for sharing that, Michaela. Oh my God, that's awesome. Oh, I just love when people share and witness, whether it's in the academy or if it's in the tribal, but the tribal is very important. It's not just, I'm going to go in there. You got to want to invest in yourself. Mm-hmm. And it's not just the $36. It's not what I mean by investing. In a way, yes, because you're honoring that energy back, but it is investing in that aspect of, I don't really know if I like my reality. I need to change it. Or I'm unhappy. I would like to look at it. And, when you think of the tribal or when you think of this type of spiritual, becoming a spiritual human way of living, what do you think? What?
Yeah, I was distracted. I'm sorry.
Well, you came live. I just assumed that you wanted to,
No, I thought maybe I can be off camera yet, but.
No, surprise! I didn't fix it. Because up here I noticed that it goes to, when you hide yourself, it goes into single mode. But when you unhide yourself, it goes into dual mode. So I don't ever have to worry about that. Surprise.
Okay. Pilly texted me for a 1 minute.
Yes. Excellent. Yeah, she doesn't remember what the question I asked, but that's okay. I forgot to. Pilly. What to do with self? Really? Are you waking up and realizing you bully yourself sometimes to stay quiet, or bully yourself into, you don't need to do it? There's a vivid recall that your mama's putting out of fear. She says, you got the fear. It's vivid recall. And she says, and then you do the automatic reaction of you overcompensate. So just kind of think about it just a little bit, because she says, it's part of your identity. You may not even be aware that you're doing it. But if you ask all your girlfriends, they may see it. Oh, and there's a slight grudge. Mama says, I taught you wrong. Now you have to face it because you just heard her talk about grudges. You need to go in there and figure it out. Why do you always sound like you got an accent, woman? But she's proud because she's like, I know she can do it. She's going to wake up. She's going to start seeing it. And I'm asking her, I said, is there a certain point you want to hope? No, she's going to figure this out. Yeah, she's waiting for that epiphany popping epiphany. Hey, I didn't get my popcorn. I think I ordered popcorn. I've been craving popcorn. Every time I go and try to find it in the store, it's like,
Box yet.
but popcorn. I don't know why all of a sudden that popped in. Oh, because she said pop. Epiphany popping. Anyways.
Epiphanies are awesome.
What are epiphanies?
Epiphanies are those aha moments where you finally realize that you were in a program and you realize that you see this program and you're going, oh shit, I do that.
Right. And if we look over here, we can see how Michaela saw she was in a program. No. And then she healing that. Yes. Good. And it's hard. You know what the thing is that you identify, we have a tendency to think there is nothing beyond this moment. And like I said, if you can find the relevance in failure and change that paradigm of how we believe about it, you will literally allow yourself to see more third options, understanding that, here's a clue. The people that you had the programs with when you were younger, and they tripped off your anger, and they tripped off your frustration, and they tripped off the, anxiety. And if you're worried that you won't have people in your life, you can always guarantee that that if these people disappear, you're going to have a stand-in for these people because you haven't healed your shit.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be people. But at the same time, why would you want to not have the unknown known? Because there's a part of me like, oh shit, I do know that if I'm going to get these same shit, it's a different day. Oh, good God, dogma. But if you begin to uncondition, is that a word? If you take and you recondition yourself from that conditioning process, then you're taking the wisdom and you're putting and laying to rest the memories. And what happens is that energy then raises its octave. It changes the frequency, allows you to carry a very more healthier tone. When that happens, you're going to draw in better, happier, healthier people, more aligned people, which means that's what you want anyway, right? Yeah, heal your shit so you move forward. Anybody else?
Bobby asked, Brenda, what is your take on deja vu moments? Just curious.
Okay. You've been there before. You first of all, number one, living this life now, you've already done it because you have your future self. Number two, we're only remembering the things that we forgot. And we are learning because we did an involution and now we're doing evolution. Different circumstances, different paradigms. But you're also living in a spiral, which means you can have yesterday, today, and tomorrow all in one. I know, let that blow your mind. Okay, but at the same time, if you're having a deja vu, it's about the experience, the memory, the feeling, the connection. And sometimes it is, am I repeating something? Okay, so you can see that it is a glitch deja vu. Do I need to stop doing something? I've been here before. What did I do? Are you trying to tell yourself something? Okay, it doesn't always have to be good or bad. It's just, what am I telling myself? What do I need to do? And sometimes they are cool experiences to help you remember that you have abilities. Yeah, I got that, and then sometimes it is we're moving out. It's like an hourglass. Okay. Nice, sexy figure, old earth is here and then the new earth is here. And what happens when that happens, you have the old memories and alignments and paradigms and things like this that are going out. And then you have the moment that you're in the wavering of the certain dimensions, the frequencies and planes that you're here. then the new grid's coming in. But if the new grid is here and then here, so it depends on where they're at, because you're always having different income information. So you're realigning to your authentic self. But if you have no clue who your authentic self is, you're going to realign to just the chakras, the level of consciousness, which are chakras. And if you haven't evolved your chakras, which is that level of consciousness, you are going to put yourself in a different field. And some people will just not want to go entirely at all in the fifth dimension. Screw that. I want to go back. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We all been there. We're, some of us are still there. So when you're having deja vu, it depends on your filters, your level of knowledge, and what epiphanies, where you need to wait. Do you need to be freak out about it? Do you have, I love the feeling sometimes. Ooh, I've been here and done that. Because everything is one. Ooh, and it doesn't have to be freaky, and it's not linear. So that's my definition.
Michelle texted, for some reason, email is being
poo-poo.
A butthead, yeah. It
did that yesterday when I was trying to send out receipts to people. It's like I kept getting a kickback. Oh, you don't have an email. I said I just emailed them.
Yeah, Michelle said she emailed me, but I haven't gotten the email.
All right, well, then we'll work. Our Michelle, yes?
Our Michelle, yes.
All right, Michelle. Ooh. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, it's like I want pretty flowers, lilacs, and then I felt in and out, so I don't know if that's a medication. But then all of a sudden, she looked at something, and I think her ability kicked in. I don't know if she was aware of it. So it's not, it's a deja vu, no. But they're saying that a lot of it is there. Has she ever been embarrassed in her life? And they said this has a lot to do with her identity and a control factor that makes her react and behave in a certain way. And if she were, and she's invested energy of when that embarrassed. And it's about, so basically that moment, I don't know if she remembered it. And if I ask when, like there's one at 5. It's funny because this is not like a true embarrassment. How do I put it? It's like when I was in the doing softball, and I okay, I can't remember what field it went out. So I got first, and then I went to second. And because it had gone out further, everybody's telling me, and I'm listening to too many things, go to third, go to third. And then it was like, as I go to do that, the person in first, how did that work? Because I had gone to first and second. Okay, then the person hit, and then it was like move forward. There was no way because I already knew I was going to be out. Just the way that you have to move off that plate. That was it. You have to move off that plate. See, I can't. It's been so long ago. The embarrassment of the words. And that's the thing, is that it wouldn't have been embarrassing, except for it was the teasing. It was the people that think they're better than you. Oh my God, there it is. A lot of you might be fighting with this. I don't know if you're aware of it. And the fighting is the negative nillies. That's the only way I know how to really say it, the negative naysayers. It's a control factor that you've done the right thing, but somebody's over there mocking you, making you feel like shit. And you've done nothing wrong, except for they don't want certain things to change. Wow. When I write this here, many may complain. So you have to put up your guards. That has to do with having to self-justify before you actually have a talk or say what you want to say. Because of these negative nillies, you have corrected yourself in many ways. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah. Take your power back. You see it. Let that be a slight epiphany. Take your power back. Tap it out. Whatever you need to do.
Yeah, they don't get everyone involved. That's so true.
And they're meant to be there. So, because we live in the world of opposites to some degree, we're coming back to unity. It doesn't about need to be separation. Yeah, I mean, it's just part of, because they don't. It's their aspect that don't want to part and that doesn't want to grow and evolve. But they are also our aspect of where we used to be them, and there's a certain amount of, did we do this and not know it? And if we did, that's where we have to look back. And it's not that we have to be ashamed about it or we have to go apologize to people. It's just like, oh. The kaleidoscope perspective. I have seen the opposites. Do I have any energy invested in that? And sometimes just waking up to the fact you did this, or if there's a certain amount of energy you're still doing that, you may have to resolve it out. And when you do, you're going to become more balanced. And then the kaleidoscope will turn into a fractal, and then it starts to evolve. You're welcome. Anybody else? What color are my eyes today?
Greeny blue.
Oh, last night they had turned green, and I was going to take a picture of it, and I didn't. So they look more solid. I feel like there's a little bit more gray or a little bit more.
Let me make it really big so I can see.
Hi, Ames. That kind of freaks you out with the white above it.
Kind of blue-gray.
Blue-gray. Yeah, not sure. So my husband, it's so cute because he's like, I don't ever have to put him on the spot because don't ever ask him what my wife's. He'll just, if he says, hey, Alan, what color is your wife today? Oh, let's see, what day is it? It could be anything today. Oh, well, how tall is your wife? Let's see. This morning she was here. Yesterday she was here. So I don't know. I can't answer that. Oh, when that first happened, you'd be like, oh, what? Is it shoes? Is it shoes? I'm like, okay, I can feel the dimensional shifts. Sorry, honey.
Tammy, just ask your question. Email is being a butthead right now.
Tammy. Yeah, if you got a question, I'll do it. Okay, see, Bobby's not, I'm not the only one. Bobby says I have hazel eyes and they change the colors. I used to, I remember when I was younger, Bobby, you may have this too. My eyes would color change depending on the color I'd put on my body.
Mine too.
And so it's like when I had to go into the DMV and I was going to put green down, the lady says, no, your eyes are blue. And so then I went into the next time and they're like, well, why does it say blue? Your eyes are green. What would you like me to put?
Purple.
Multicolors. You don't have a box for that. I gotta pick one. It's not that I'm lying. It's just that I don't know. You don't have that. You don't have the choice down there. And I'm good at making different choices. Tee. Ooh. Okay. So Tammy Ann wanted a reading, right? You have fairies singing around you. Doodle doodle doo. Your efforts have been received by them. They said that the energy of feeling awkward at times, they says your hips are moving better. Energetically, it's like she's not being rigid by certain, like awkward feelings. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. And they said that the self-despair is lifting. It's not as deep. So if you're going to put, so grief's better than self-despair. So you're actually moving up and resolving things. I didn't know fairies could really read you, but they are reading you. And the overwhelm, you have to understand that when you get into overwhelm, people take you for granted. And they said, you're becoming aware, but become aware of the language. And, oh yeah, that happened to me today. Oh yeah, because there's a part of you that needs to fulfill a quota of being overwhelmed, being this way, being that way. But if you start catching your flippant language, you're like, no, wait, cancel. I don't need to feel awkward today. I don't really need. So it's learning how to communicate in a different language with people. Wait. Oh, Bobby says, yes, I even got pulled over. My driver's license said Hazel, but then they were brown. He got me out of a ticket. Cop was amazed.
I saw that. I'm like, oh, wow. Damn, I wish that would have got me out of a few tickets.
You couldn't just bat your eyes, Amy?
Nope.
I got out of a ticket when I was younger.
On your
Okay, so when I had taken the test, I failed at this question. And it was like, oh, what the hell? Because I always see things that are not seen but can be seen. Whatever. Anyways, it doesn't help when I was taking a written test. So I was right. The question was, when you're on the highway, oh, it's been so long. Freeway. Which one's faster? Freeway.
Okay.
And the speed limit is 55 and everybody's doing 65. What do you do? What speed do you drive? And I said, you obey the law. No, you're supposed to go at the same speed as everyone else. Okay, got that wrong. So now years later, I'm driving down and we're going down to Indiana. Yeah, big major freeways and stuff. And it's me, my husband, and a bunch of people in the back. And we're cruising along. Now, I'm not thinking I'm speeding, right? In my mind, I know that I'm not really breaking the law based on what I was told. So we're traveling along, and all of a sudden I get pulled over. I'm like, what the hell? Now, in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, I know that unless I get a taillight out. He says, ma'am, you were speeding. I said, okay, wait. You have to answer this question. I will take the ticket, but you have to answer this for me. So I told him that. He looks at me, he goes, okay. He says, you just can't be the leader. He says, I'm not giving you a ticket. And he walks away. You just can't be the leader. Oh, I was being the leader. I didn't know I was being a leader. Everybody's doing 75. I was going to do 75. So you just can't be the leader. Yeah, I remember that one.
I don't like being behind people. Drives me nuts.
Oh, you can heal that. But at the same time, it's like I don't like anybody that's slower than me. Sloth energy gets me. It's like, oh my God, can you speed up? And it's not about the cars. It's just that I was married to one. And when I've had people come to me that when you would talk to them, because I'm fire and they're earth, I can't remember. And they go to answer. They sound like William Shatner. But at the same time, I may give you an answer. Yeah, and when I'm going to tell you a story, which could take a minute, turns into 10 minutes, you're like, I got to heal shit like this because I don't want these people in my space. I can't do it. I just like, I'm going to poof.
Exactly.
Because it's like energy backup. It's like, what the hell? What's wrong with me? Because I listen to kids. Either they're talking really fast or they're talking really slow or they're distracted. Yeah, that's never bothered me. But I was like, this is an adult that's doing this. And my head says, you're not happy. And I'm like, what? So this dot, it just, here's my heart. I don't know.
You said something earlier in the feed. What was it? I wonder if she's still here. You said something earlier in the feed about your dot.
My dot?
About your dot, and I can't get any higher. No, I can't.
It's funny because all these dots, and it looks like my chakras are aligning.
They are. Said something about
if anybody's seen her message, that would be awesome.
Back there, doggone it. I wonder if I can get back there on here.
I wonder about my dot now. Anybody else annoyed by my dot? Or is that's like my third eye coming out of my chest?
I figured it out. I figured out the attraction.
You found it?
Yeah, Betty just typed it. I figured out the attraction. What is it, Betty? I remember you typed it earlier.
So is it a mesmerizing eye? Wow. I know that just seemed completely wrong and silly. I don't think any men are watching. We're good. Love. Oh.
God spark of love, like
Spark away.
bursting love out.
Love that. Yes. Oh, I'm here to entertain you. Apparently, I'm here to entertain myself. No, I don't need spiritual giggles right now. I've been sitting here for a couple hours. I have to pee. So literally, do not give me that. For warning, the floodgates might open. Y'all don't need to know that neither. Okay. Sometimes there's days I swear that spirits come in and it makes me drunk, but I'm not. It's my nature. Okay. I love you. You're all great. I don't think there's any more. I'm going to double check. Nope. And we will on next.
Tammy, yeah, we did her. It just came through now.
Or
for Tammy. Or did we?
Are you got to scroll? Do you need to scroll, baby? Scroll?
No, it just came in. I swear to God.
Oh, the email?
Yeah.
Oh, like I said, I noticed that's off. Okay.
I
thought you were looking up there and you were looking there and no, Amy, look over there while I do this. Whatever. Oh my God. I don't need to channel teens. Yeah, so we will be drawing the names and hopefully your name will be drawn. If you do it, then you get 15 minutes in that day or whenever you're available. It'll be on the air. And there is a question is, what if I don't want it and pass it on? That's up to you. I asked Spirit and they go, you do whatever you want with it. It is your gift. So if you want it, take it. If you want to pass it on, then do so. So it's your call. Okay.
Yeah, she emailed with a question.
Oh, another question. Okay, so we're not crazy. She did get her. Did you get your 1 minute? Just so we're not lapsing in time and crossing over in dimensions. And
yeah, it was 2:42. And could you quickly check on why I might be having unusual spotting and bleeding for Tammy?
All right. Do we break the rule? Yeah, because it's the... Gotcha. So there's action going on. Well, what is this about? So your meridians are doing what? Believing something that's unreal. So it's like doing the worst case. And so your body is responding to the chemical peptides of this particular thing. And what do you want? Further detail? Where? Are you on any medications or anything? Because your meridians are saying that somehow is affecting it. And a limited emotion. What's that? There's an alarm going on based on that worry. Okay. And it's part of your personality that you want to change out, if that makes any sense. And they're saying if you really wanted to look at 2 years old, this is how people behaved. You took this on. This is what you're supposed to do. Jesus, you just went into a horror and shock. My eyes went really big out of my head. Now, there's no medications, but you were on some a while back. And this is something that, did you have any medications when you were pregnant? Yes, it can be that old, people, because your body is learning to hold things, letting things go. And in this case, this is what I'm seeing. So did you take and were you on medication when you were pregnant? And did you do the worst case scenario when you were pregnant? Because what's popping up is this thing that you need to heal out. It's tapping into a wounded pride. Did we say that about the 1 minute? I can't remember if that was you or somebody else, but who gets to you? Oh, they get to me. You know, who gets to you? It's not just by manipulation, but they just get to you. Somehow that's all related, if that makes any sense. Hopefully it does. Okay, I'm just going to double check. We're all good there. Remember, this is the first of the month. If the emails can't come through, then remember that you have tribal renewal for some people. And other people, if you just don't want to be in the group because you don't want to be in the group, you just have to tell me. If there's really no reason, then you don't have to make one up just so you don't want to be in the group, because sometimes people are just not ready. Maybe you'll be ready in a month or two, or you know, that's fine. Oh, my mom. Okay, so just be aware that you know, people like to do things at the first of the month, then, you know, so be it. There's a lot you can do. And we end up doing a lot of interesting things, talking and asking questions and helping you develop and think and grow. I think the next set will be about meditating on something. I'm not sure. Or we'll be addressing maybe chakras. We don't know. Those chakra cards, Amy, do they have a question on them?
They just have a word on each one.
No. The definition in the book.
Definition in the book. It has key ideas and keywords.
All right. Well, I may have to come up and spark something. That's fine. And there are a lot of things that you can get from this. But it's about your growth. So invest in yourself. But if you are not ready, then just be okay. You're waking up, but be honest with yourself when you are ready. There's no hard feelings. You can always drop it, come back on, do whatever you need to do. You just, you know, we're there for you to whatever it is you need to do. Now, understand that the healings, when it's not within that free hour, that 2 hours, whatever it is, like 3 hours, whatever it is that I give you, that you get 5 videos a month, the interns are not responsible to help you heal. They are there to guide you, maybe tell you a tool, whatever it is, because it is the idea that it's becoming a spiritual human, and it is designed to help you find that third option. There are abilities in this and that. They're meant to grow. So they're not meant to be just, you know, we have to honor and respect Medicine Woman Solution. We are doing this group for a particular reason. When it comes to my private downtime, I don't mind helping, but I only give so much of my time away for free. And Spirit will choose that. I have to balance that frequency out. So when I've got 40 people asking me for free energy, free readings, free healings, because they're in a dire need, I can't do all of that. There won't be enough time in the day. So this is why, if you can get on the soul coaching path with me, because there's only so many slots for the soul coaching. That soul coaching it's $2 for every response. Now you may think it's expensive, but if you were to ask a question, you know, and you're saying, I'm just a mess. Now, if you don't need to have a lot of detail, and you don't need to, you just want to heal the feeling down, or just help you over, you know, it could only cost you anywhere from, you know, like $4 to, you know, $20. Who knows? But if you want a full-blown session, then it's cheaper just to set up an appointment to have a session with me. Especially if you're going to say, explain this to me, explain this to me, explain this to me, then it's going to occur. And people are going to say, well, that's supposed to be cheaper. Well, it would if we weren't doing a full-blown session. This is for people that's like, I got a headache. Okay, rub this, and this, $2.
Yeah, like last night, I woke up out of a dead sleep, couldn't breathe. I texted Brenda, I can't breathe. In her crying, she gave me points, and
that was what, one response, two? I can't even remember.
Just one.
And that's $2. So, because if you all of a sudden get relief and I don't hear from you, I'm assuming that we're done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so people will drop $40 in the soul coaching account, and then I just go ahead and say, okay, and mark it off. And then, I can't always email you because that's way too much work. So if you say, well, how much do I have in my thing? I'll look it up, and then I will tell you. we go from there. So just to understand, the soul coaching that comes with the tribal, it is an actual video like this, and then a bunch of people in the room, and it'll be not your personal need, but it will be about your personality, part of your soul, things that need, and it'll be a group healing. It'll be a way. Why do I do it? Because people say, I can't afford to grow, I can't afford to heal. And I'm thinking, well, how can I offer something to people? And it is, okay, if I can offer it in this platform for $36, you get 5 videos. And they're anywhere from, depending how many hours, because you're supposed to be 1 hour is $36 or $33 or whatever. I can't remember how I said. That's 1 hour. And then, but you got 2 and 3 added onto that, and you're like, but it's not individually pointed at me, but you got 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Healing tool, healing as a group. A meditation does the healing on a certain level. Now, if you can't join them, that's fine too. Understand you can go back, because some people don't like the camera. They can still participate because they can do the meditation. They can, Brenda says, let's everybody hold L1S, because we're going to talk about letting go of stuff. Oh, I can do that. So the first month, and it feels like maybe some people are being cheated, but the first month is supposed to be a display only. And after that, then I have to set up where people can go and look at the videos.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it's completely private. So it's like, where do I go? How do I do it? So part of me wants me to create a little gold member page. And that way, all the videos, and I don't have to give anybody passwords, because it's only exclusive for those people. And you're like, another group? But come on, there is very specificness of what's happening. So I don't mean to step on anybody's toes.
Right.
So Tammy says, yes, I had medication when I was pregnant. Now, again, people, you don't understand that sometimes the energy of the body holds on to certain medications. People say, well, it's supposed to be out of my system. But if you have residue, or if the reason that it's connected into there, or your body can't process it out, you're going to have some old stuff. Have you ever had your intestinal tract pumped out? You're like, you got shit in there when you were 2 years old. Look at that, I found a marble. And there's stuff there. And it's the same thing when I'm looking at residues and prints, and they can be an interference. And the epidurals, especially the epidurals, even though they're gone, they leave an imprint big, because they puncture that energy field, and that leaves a big impact on the physical body.
Mm-hmm.
And it can change the energetic print, being disrupting of the meridians and the energies. Okay.
Do you teach tools on how to quit smoking?
The thing is that if you understand why, and I do, if you watch the videos, it talks about what is addictions. And if you can understand that smoking is not the reason, it is your coping tool to the problem. And when you take that problem and you start to break it down and take your energy off, use tools to heal, not think it through without tools, because you're just going to hardwire it and keep it there and keep smoking. But if you were to break down those to why you would want to reach for it, and become aware that when you had the problem and then you solved it with smoking, you may bump into other people which are vibrationally matched on a codependent level, or even standing in the grocery store, you could want all of a sudden a cigarette because somebody is thinking about it. So you can pick up frequencies from people. So again, this is we may end up having topics like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Q&A, the question and answer section was, I'd never done it before, but Spirit had picked a topic and we're going to talk about it, kids, and then you can ask questions. Isn't this just teaching? And they're like, oh, you're sneaky little shits, aren't you? But anyway.
Yeah, they were, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up. So we could be talking about that question and answer right then, and then that would help other people understand it on a deeper level. And who knows, healing may be applied there as well. So this was crafted for you guys that have all cried that you can't do it alone. That's what it really pertained. Because for me, it was like, I'm fine just getting on doing this. Oh, no, no, no. You're made for more. I don't know. There's like, are you complaining? Go heal that. Oh, shit. So, yes.
That looks like Mountain Dew.
I know. It's vitamin C, kids. I wouldn't touch vitamin D to my lips. Mm-mm. All right. We'll give Julie Noel, and then I got to go. Julie, you just made it. Just made it, Julie. Julie. Oh my God, I'm galled of their energy. Oh! And then somehow that makes you feel unworthy. Julie, no. And then, but what it does is it taps into the belief that you feel deficient. And the deficiency is about the inability to do something. And so then you go into false pride or false self-assuredness to help you to feel like, fake it till I make it. It's like it's self-empower, false empowering. But the thing is they're saying that it's the exertion of other people's energy that seem to throw you in an imbalance of things. Oh my God, yes. Okay, so it is... I guess the tone of disapproval. Not sure how that's connected, Julie, but other people are over here. Their attention stuff's over here, and then the tone. So kind of look around and just look. At the same time, bling bling. Tammy just said, I had a neighbor knock on my door and gave us $300 worth of halibut and fish. Yum! And good job on manifesting. Yes. Ooh, Julie said spot on. Okay, remember you can heal that. Use a tool. Fish. I haven't had halibut. Or the halibut. No, I have not had. That's bad. I was around a punning moon all the time.
I suppose.
Ooh, halibut. God, I want some fish. I've had shark. I love shark. I've had gator. Oh, I love gator.
Does it taste like chicken?
No, it doesn't, but it tastes really good. Now, if you have it in no, my God, it's been so long now. I can't remember. There was one texture I didn't like because you can get it in sausage, you can get it in patties, you can get it in the nuggets. And I didn't like one texture, but but it was like the other one was like, oh, this is good. So we rented rented a little place, and then we stayed there, had a pool, and then we just bought food, and then we cooked on vacation. But we had gator. It's like, And I fed a gator. I took my fishing pole, put it out there, and it's like, all of a sudden, and when it goes up, okay, the coming out of the water scares the fuck out of you. But the yanking on the pole, you're like, it's just whoa, and you're like, whoa. But you know me and my jumping on my socks. Okay, time to end this puppy. Put this one to bed. Yeah. Resolve to evolve.
Heal instead of deal.
Feel it to heal it.
You can heal that.
And always, please stay blessed. Oh, and then of course I love this one. Y'all come back now. You hear?